Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory once again this morning as investors continue to weigh spiking global COVID-19 cases. And Washington still kind of stalled out when it comes to possible aid talks between the Democrats and the White House. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying on Saturday that she's going to give President Trump 48 hours to reach a possible deal. Otherwise, if the 48 hours passes, we'll have to wait until after the November 3rd election. Positive third quarter GDP data out of China overnight as well. Lifting sentiment a little bit this morning. The world's second largest economy growing by 4.9% in the third quarter. That was at the low end of the expectations, but still in the right direction. So global markets, in fact, a little bit higher after that number. Individually, Hertz Global shares back on watch this morning. 1 billion shares traded back on Friday. We'll have a look at Hertz already moving back to the upside this morning. EV makers as well moving around. Tesla, I saw that XPEV, and also Li Auto back on the move this morning. We'll have a look at the EV space. And Zoom shares back in positive territory, along with Virgin Galactic as well. Lots to have a look at this morning. It's Monday, October 19th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There's a look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see, as I mentioned, nicely positive here, top to bottom, right across the board. Let's go over to Europe and see, a bit of a mix showing here. You can see a little bit negative for the most part across the board here. Turkey, the only one in positive territory now. We'll shift over to North America next and see more positivity. Top to bottom here, looking pretty good. 0.8% for the NASDAQ to the upside. TSX futures here in Toronto pretty flat. We have Bitcoin higher again this morning. Crude a little bit to the downside, and gold back in positive territory, up about 0.5%. Good morning, guys. It is Monday. We've been given a 48-hour deadline started Saturday by Nancy Pelosi to come up with some sort of aid deal. I guess that's going to run out a little bit later on today or possibly even tomorrow. But yeah, if that doesn't happen, it's going to be after the election, obviously, before we get any aid. So the market's kind of in a wait and see here, I think.
Yeah, I'm giving us a 120-hour deadline to get some champagne in my belly. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. It's a good way to start the week, obviously, but it should be a lot of fun. You're talking about the deal there, whether it gets done or not. I think obviously it's going to weigh on the airlines. Let's watch out for some big earnings that come this week, because I think people are going to be interested in Tesla. Netflix as well on Wednesday. Not too much today. Just I think we got like Halliburton's aftermarket, and then IBM, I think, are the only two. But either way, got a couple of movers on right now. Let's see the positions. But Sean, we all like champagne. I can't believe we're almost at 100,000, buddy.
Yeah, 100,000 is going to be a nice one. Join us, guys, for that. We obviously have big things happening this week. We'll get it ready, and when you guys are ready, we can show up. We have Kevin O'Leary coming on the show on Friday. You guys can hit that button if you do have that whenever we're ready. That's going to be coming up this Friday for the third time. Kevin O'Leary coming from Shark Tank. That should be really hype as well. As a guest today as well, Brendan, in the sort of the COVID kind of space there. Should be an exciting one. A new uplisting to Neo Quest Cap. So lots happening. We're looking at Hertz. 1 billion shares for Hertz on Friday. So bang, that was a big one on Friday. Not about the money, just about how many shares. And then today you have a little small one, 400,000 on the buy-in balance. Almost 40 million shares done so far today. So that's going to be a good one. Hertz Capital coming through today. Not Hertz Capital. They got some capital there. Quest Cap coming. Hertz got that 1.69 million debt financing there at 7%. So we're going to wait to see, man. A lot of interest in Hertz today. We're going to be going long if it breaks the top. 285-ish or so. Let's
yeah, it might as well be Hertz Capital at this point after that. News back on Friday. The volume was just amazing to watch, even throughout the afternoon, right up to the close. Just didn't stop. Lots coming up, guys. Let's have a look at our latest educational video coming your way at about 11:45. Valeria will have the link for you in the chat. All about trading the open. We've talked about the open before. This is specifically that first kind of 30 seconds to 90 seconds when you can get, spreads opening up, a lot of volatility, lack of liquidity. So we'll talk about the market open, first 30 seconds, right when the market opens, coming up about 11:45. Speaking of Valeria, let's go over to the desk and say good morning to her.
Good morning, Brendan, and hey guys, happy Monday, everyone. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel right now, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brendan.
Yes, let's indeed get it started. Lots to get through this morning as far as things that are moving around in the pre-market. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, sign up for the watch list. It's absolutely free. We send it out every morning before we come on at 9 o'clock. We talk about all the things that are moving around in the pre-market with some sort of fresh catalyst, whether it's news-based or an announcement or something. The first one we want to touch on is Tesla this morning. We'll go back to the EV space. It's been a hot one over the past couple of weeks and months. It was Wedbush raising their price target, got an upgrade this morning, raising their price target to 500 from 475. They also provided a little more details, guys, when it comes to the announcement they made about a month ago regarding the China-made Model 3 being shipped to Europe. So they released the list of actual countries that is going to be included. Some of them, Germany, France, Italy, Switzerland, and so on. You can check out the list online, but more details now. So they are going to go ahead with it. Even this month, they're saying, shipping that Model 3 over to Europe.
Yeah, I think the one thing I'm interested for, so obviously, Wednesday when they eventually have their call is, look, are they going to actually stick to this 500,000 in terms of deliveries, a big target for them? We know Tesla's going to be in play this week with earnings. It's not a huge move upside today, but just sort of worth noting the market after a few down days in a row, just barely under 1% to the upside. So Tesla up almost 2, looking like it'll pace it just a little bit. I'm watching a 450 level to that upside. If you can take it out there, I think we get a nice little scalp into this double top 457. Just looking at last week's action, I think that can be a bit of a level where you could run into some chop if it gets like $10 from here. So 450 is the first level I'll be looking at. The anticipation for me is that there's a decent shot the next couple of days. We can see some ramp into those earnings, and then sort of all bets are off as we usually see some sell-off, at least in the afternoon going into Wednesday.
I mean, Tesla, guys, I told you a while ago that we were probably going to be marching back up to the all-time highs of about 502. So we'll see. Look, we did have some consolidation there on Friday around 455. So I think we can at least get to there and test that. I mean, it's great news. They're going to start to ship some of these vehicles made in China. That should save, hopefully, on some of the shipping costs. But we'll just see the quality that's coming through there. They're going to be obviously Tesla tried, tested, and true. Let's just look at it. 450. I mean, that's a big level, obviously psychologically as well. 450. There's going to be probably some weekly options surrounding 450, surrounding 475, and then probably some call options at 500 this week. So it's a busy week for Tesla, which means there should be lots of volume. 500,000 shares already. Just look at 450 breaking. I actually would prefer 451, 452 kind of stuff to the high side there. And then if you're feeling real frisky, you got to wait for this 456. But if you go long 450, take $4 or $5 if you can, because it looks like 455. There's some resistance from Friday.
Yeah, already pushing pre-market highs there for Tesla. There's a whole bunch of the little ones in the space moving around again, as we mentioned. That Li Auto XP EV back on the run as well. Neither really had any kind of news related to them, but worth a look as well. Let's go to Hertz, guys. Big news on Friday. We mentioned the $1.6 billion loan financing deal. Where they can tap into it, $250 million at a time. They're paying 7.25% interest on that loan. But Hertz back active again. 1 billion shares on Friday, guys.
Yeah, the funny thing was we actually it underperformed in terms of volume. We were thinking it would get to 1 billion easily, and it was right at the close that it crossed that mark. The party has not stopped just yet. You're going to look at that. We talked about this high all show long. There was a 287 level from earlier. It never broke that in the afternoon. Before this pre-market action, and we did take it out, just got to that $3 area, starting to come back in. So I'm going to look at some of those support areas from those bounce areas from Friday afternoon. First off is going to be that 250. You also have this like 230 area, which was a bit of a double bottom. So each one of those on a dip could be very, very interesting. Taking out the top here would be a 3 even break. I mean, technically, it's a couple of pennies higher than that. This second one, this is just a dark pool print. So really, it was just this one low volume test at 740 through 3 even. It's just a squeeze play at this point. If we can hold below that 287 to 277, those tops from Friday, maybe started thinking about some shorts. But the only good shorts were in the afternoon last week.
And there's like an unbelievable amount of dark pool prints happening right now. Some just went off at 220, 240, 230. So if you do believe in some of those dark pool printing mechanisms they're all printing lower today. So there is some, some people believe in that downside here on Hertz. So we're going to watch out for that. If you do look at the run here. The funny thing is I got a note, and I was telling the guys here, I got it at just about 4 o'clock from my kid at university saying he's long Hertz at $2.20. I said, get out. So we're going to wait to see, although, good for him trying it out. And I think that that's a lot of the kind of traders that are in right now. It's sort of, the ones looking for, and if you're in it, you know what I'm talking about. You're looking for that big bump, right? You're not necessarily buying Hertz because you believe in it. This is bankrupted equity. We have to understand that. It's completely a bankrupted company. They do get this lifeline a little bit. So we'll wait to see if they pull the revolver on some of this debt financing. But I don't like the company, obviously, as an investment, but with the momentum, it's very, very hard to ignore. 1 billion shares, like Neil mentioned there, and we did have a little bet going on, and it does hit it. But I like this 285. That's kind of where we stopped during all the chaos there early on Friday. 285 was the stop spot, and then we sort of just did nothing all afternoon, bouncing between 235 and 270. So you got a 40-cent range there. That sort of looks like what we're doing now. So if you really like it, I think you just wait for 285 to break. Otherwise, you scalp in and out, and then don't let this break. Look, this is the consolidation here, and it's sort of backside again. So it's $2.30. So I'd say there's 50 cents worth of fun in there, one way or the other. And then when either 285 breaks to the upside, I'll go long, or 230 to the downside. But there are levels in between. We just got to wait for it to open up.
All right, guys, let's go to AMC Entertainment. Big mover a couple of weeks ago, back on the move again this morning. They announced New York State, the next state to reopen as far as their operations are concerned. They're now up to 44 of 45 states when it comes to getting back to operating at somewhat full capacity. So AMC not really doing a lot as far as price action concerned, but the volume, the story here, definitely more active than normal in the pre-market.
Hold on a second. So people in the chat think it's amazing that I have a kid in university. Thank you so much. But my kids told me that this weekend I was wearing my mask, and they said, "Daddy, you have so many white hairs, in your beard." And I said, "No, I don't, guys. I don't have any white hairs in that." But anyways, that's just a fun little thing there. It was AMC, right, Brendan?
Yep.
Okay, AMC, Neil, you take it. You got something.
Yeah, this stock actually last week had some good price action. I think that break at 3 was probably going to be a better trade than maybe anything we'll see to the upside today. I could be wrong about that, but I'm watching this 350 level. This was a good short off of that price on the 14th. I'm not looking to necessarily be short this thing today. I'm not going back to a theater anytime soon. Anyone that's seen that Tenet movie, maybe throw it in the chat. Let me know how it is. Is it actually worth it? Should I even be venturing into a theater for that? I don't know. But it is what it is. It's a recovery play. I think at this point, you're going to want to see that 350 be a breakout trade. I think it's very, very likely we run into some resistance there. On a pullback, I have no problems seeing if you can't support a $3 area on a ramp to the upside, as given what happened last week when it was just sideways action until the breakout at 3. I might see the same thing here from 3 to 340, 350, and then you want to play the bottom end of the range for any longs.
Yep, that's look. We like AMC. I think the story is probably obviously it's up that 9% today, but this is just one of those things where, look, are people going to go back to the theaters or not? It's just a matter of, you could open them back up. That's great. You have a lot of costs when you open back up your theaters, but at least it's a move in the right direction. So I think AMC today up that 8%, probably worth a move downside. Neil just went over some of those upside and downside targets there. Just watch it. I'm always looking at $3. You have to remember options expiration. Again, people playing weekly options on this thing. So you could see 3 or 350 just kind of bouncing around in there. But 9% seems a little too much for me. But there's bigger fish to fry out here than AMC for me today, guys.
The airlines, guys, back on watch as well. The entire group higher this morning. American doing the most volume when I was looking at them. AAL saying this morning that they're going to give the 737 MAX jet recertification and get it back in operations by the end of December. This is all pending, though, FAA recertification for the plane. So if the plane is able to get that recertification, it will be flying December 31st, that first week of January, in fact, between Miami and New York. So not directly related to American, but some interesting news there for the airlines this morning.
Yeah, they'll take all the good news they can get. I mean, it's going to sound like a broken record here, but obviously everything is about when it comes to the stimulus package here. So let's watch these airlines. It is worth noting here. Just look at last week's action, and you have this top here at 1280. That's literally the only thing I have written down. So if you're just looking to have some kind of a bracket that if anything is announced, maybe you're always sitting there wanting to break out if we get a bit of a run in AAL. I think that 1280 mark is going to be it for me. I would certainly take a shot with a breakout at that price. Otherwise, I don't know that I'm going to be heavily actionable in the trade unless we get a move. You can see it grinding around a little bit, and it hasn't always been the most volatile in the world. So let's see. It already has baked in. As you can see, the slight trend to the upside. A lot of this is baked in, expecting that they're going to get something from the government. There seems to be some support from both sides. It's just a matter of what and when. So 1280 is the price I'm looking for a break.
Yeah, look, there's CCL, there's AAL. I mean, all of these moving today. You do get this is obviously on the Boeing news. You have Spirit Airlines, SPR could be a mover on that and on that news as well. But I'm just looking at CCL right now, breaking through. I have liked this level in the past year, 1420. So this is something to watch out for. If we can break that, it's 1411 right now, high of 1435 on the high side. It's more of a COVID name. What I did want to look at here, and I just put this out as well, not on our watch list, but 310 on this name, like I just tweeted this out. 310 all-time highs right now for Alibaba, so you guys can watch out for that one. I think that's great, and financial IPO looks like it'll go through. I'm really upset because we missed this one in my portfolio at 220. Should have bought some of that. I want to find the imbalance locator here just to show you. This is something that's very popular here on the show. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome here. We're going over our watch list, which we can show in a second, maybe when we go back to Brendan again. Pfizer, 900,000 shares on the bid side. Most of the big stocks today are going to be bids. Hertz Global right there. GE is on the buy side. Uber, we haven't talked about yet. And here's another name that I like today. Spoke to Greg about this. Palantir is approaching, guys, near 10. So that's going to be a big psychological level as well. We bounced off some of those levels on Friday morning before coming back in. We got as high as 990. I like a 990 break on Palantir and 310 on Mr. Baba.
Yeah, we'll touch on the watch list here, guys. If you haven't already, as I mentioned at the start here, sign up for the watch list. It's absolutely free. If you're wondering what we're talking about at the moment, this is it. The Morning Movers watch list. We send it out every morning before we come on at 9 o'clock with all the stocks that are moving around in the pre-market. Get a nice little educational video down at the bottom as well to watch in the pre-market, but absolutely free to you. Throw your email in the link that Valeria will provide for you, and you can have our watch list for free and follow along between 9 and 9:30. The next one, guys, we were mentioning on Friday, Cation Auto, this KXIN, little tiny online used car dealer and financing company out of China. There's really no significant news when it comes to this company. It was mentioned by a couple of analysts on the positive side of things. It's in that right space, in the right time, right place kind of thing. So KXIN, back to the upside, but it's already kind of fading off here.
Yeah, and this is one of those ones where you look at this when you have no major catalyst. The first thing you got to think about is, okay, well, it seems like an obvious fade, especially when you look at the action that happened on Friday, not getting through that 450 mark. Well, I mean by a penny or so, and then not basically taking this out in the pre-markets. You have this 4 even level we've already sold off from. I think it's one of those where I'll take a shot below 3 if we can get those locates to be able to short this name, and then you're looking at that $2 area. I mean, we closed at 207. It had all afternoon. It had support at that price. It had a bit of a break from there before, so it gives you an obvious target, I think. The only downside, and why I'd wait for it to break down, so much room to the high. If you're shorting 3, there's no obvious levels on the way back up until you get to 4. So I'd watch out for this one if it tries to take the top off. So tighter stops than normal, and an obvious target area if you're doing any shorts right into that $2 range, where it actually might even be a bit of a dip buy, just given the support on Friday.
Look, guys, we saw Carvana. Used car sales are going absolutely nuts right now. No one wants to take public transportation. people investing in used cars. They're not even carpooling anymore. There's lots of restrictions about this. And I think it's a great trend personally, and I don't think it's going to stop. So it's finally the car business and industry getting that little boost that they needed, and unfortunately it's coming at the expense of the rest of us with COVID. But yeah, I mean, I made that switch as well. You know, grab a car instead of taking public transportation. China right now, very, very into all of that, obviously. Just another name. You guys can look up Carvana. There's lots of names in the US. For those of you trading those equities, you know exactly what's happening. I think that's part of the bump in Ford as well. A lot of resale value, high resale value on some of those F-150s. So this name makes a lot of sense to me right now, and I think it's in the right industry at the right time. And yeah, KXIN. Just wish we would have had this a couple days ago when we were at $1. Now you got to sort of watch out. That was halted a couple times, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times or so on Friday. Or was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday early. So you have this high, 450. Do we take it out? We may just do that. Let's watch VWAP through 350. We'll take a long through 350.
Yeah, we got to be really careful with that one, guys. Just a reminder, it's a $125 million market cap on that company. The free float, 1.09 million shares. So yeah, tread lightly. That one could get a little squeezed. Zoom. Let's talk about Zoom here real quick. Do we have Arun today? I don't think we actually have Arun today, but we'll touch on the market anyways before we get to the open. Zoom Video Communications back at all-time highs. Once again this morning, no news in relation to Zoom. It was mentioned in a couple of analyst notes on Friday after their Zoomtopia event. Kind of a stay-at-home story coming back into play here. Piper Sandler did upgrade the stock again today, but here we go, guys. Zoom back to all-time highs.
What else is new, right?
To the races.
It's just one of those, look, the chart speaks for itself. There's no levels to watch up here. The only thing I would say is if you look at the structure of some of these breaks, it's generally been pretty clean when it comes to just simply taking out pre-market highs and then getting a bit of a run, right? So even if it does do a bit of a dip, I know there was one on Friday. You had a similar action there on Thursday as well. And then when it broke down on Wednesday, it was basically the same thing. The key thing there is usually a very tight consolidation in the pre-market, which so far is exactly what we've seen. Now, I know that you'll see this right here at 8 o'clock. That's just a large overnight pool of dark pool prints that come through. So really that didn't happen. You just have a couple of spikes. So I think you look at that breakout, whether it's going to be 574, if it's the bottom, it's like 68 or so. It's a relatively tight range. And when the last 3 days in a row, when it's broke out of it, there's been a nice momentum play off the open.
Yes. No, I mean, look, there's lots of plays here off the open today. That's just going to be another one of them. Zoom, guys. 575. I mean, we've already taken that out. Got as high as 576 or so. I like 574, 575. Let's just play the momentum to the upside. I mean, more and more cases exploding, new products happening for Zoom. So look, and I keep saying this, it's unfortunate. We all know that already. But as COVID just keeps rearing its ugly head, there's more and more Zoom happening. I know Google has Google Classroom and Facebook. They all have competing products, but it seems like everyone keeps going back to Zoom. We're going to see on their next report, you know, are they still keeping their current clientele? But with new releases, they're releasing phones, they're releasing a bunch of different protocols for phones and a bunch of different things as well. And they fixed up their security a couple months ago. So I think Zoom, unfortunately, guys, if you haven't been long this name, it's been a money bag kind of thing. Up to 575 straight upside. Watch out, man. I like a 575 break. It's just really that simple.
All right, guys, lots of little teeny tiny ones on the move. But before we get to some of those, let's talk about Nikola Corporation. JP Morgan analysts out this morning saying a revised GM deal between Nikola and GM still probable by the end of the year. If you remember, the deadline for the deal to be confirmed kind of came and went. They said, it's fine, we'll keep talking, we'll figure something out. They gave themselves until the end of the year, so the end of December, to come up with some sort of agreement. So JP Morgan saying that it is still probable that this could happen. So if you remember back on Friday, big move down on some concerns about whether or not this will actually happen and concerns over whether or not the truck will happen. Here we go back to the upside again today.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'll tell you. I mean, I like this 220 level. I like the Nikola story. I've said that over and over again. I mean, I don't like what's happened to it, but I do like the future potential of what could happen, especially at these depressed levels. I still think this is like a lottery ticket if you're going to invest in it. We did talk about getting some longer at 18, 19 about it last week. It did pop high side, 24.25. Now we're back to 20. I like this level. It's bounced off 220 a couple times. This goes back a couple of days. It bounces off there Friday. Thursday, bottoms were 220, or 220, 2020. And I like 2020 again to break for Nikola, and then we'll go higher. The year 2020 hasn't been good, but let's wait to see if Nikola breaks through 2020, and then we'll take that. And then if you have a downside target, I mean, you just use 1950 here. That's as low as we got on Friday. They protected that a couple times. If you really want to get cheeky, it's like 1947 or so on the low side. So I think this one's worth it. It's a 70-cent risk on a break through 220. It's a 70-cent risk to see if you can't make $2 or $3. You could easily test back upside where we were on Thursday, 2160. It's good news. JP Morgan likes it. Look, they probably did a little more research in this than I did. They probably did a lot more research than GM did. So let's just wait to see what happens with this deal on GM. I like the break through 2020. I'm expecting you do too, Neil.
I love the shade you just the shade on GM. No, it's all good. The only thing I would change here, look, I like that 2020 break. I think certainly it was a heavy short already, all the way down here. And the only thing I have different is if I take it off the open, I'll probably only give it to like 1980 or so. A bit of a tighter stop on the Nikola break to the upside. I feel like if it doesn't go right away off a level like that, I kind of want to stay away from it just a little bit. Not stay away from it, I mean just get out of it a little bit sooner. So that's the only change I would make.
Guys, let's get into some of these little tiny ones moving around. A micro cap to start. OSUR, Orasure, they came out this morning and said the FDA has given them emergency use authorization for a saliva test for COVID-19, and it's a fast response saliva test. So a big pop here, 19.5% for this OSUR. I just realized this thing is extremely thin. There's not a lot of volume or liquidity here.
So yeah, this one makes me a little nervous here, Brendan. Like I have a couple of these right now. We'll get to MTP and NNDM, which have both been good shorts. NNDM a good one from last week, but OSUR here only 300,000. This is the liquidity, and usually I'd be always looking to fade these. A couple of problems. One, I just talked about the liquidity. There's really no levels to work off of here till you get up like a few dollars, up to almost like $19.95, $20 up here, and we've already broken through what I would have liked to short off, which was like a 1550 in terms of support areas. You're still a ways away from that, so I'd let this one make a bit of a range off the open, and I think I'd rather see the money come in and decide what this is going to be worth, and then maybe play some directional plays that way. Otherwise, I might stay away from OSUR. On the other hand, like I said, we'll get to NNDM, another good one. Last week was so fantastic, and I believe you've got one as well, Brendan.
Yeah, another one that seems to not have any catalyst this morning, but a huge pop for this CCNC Co-Chain New Continent, little Chinese company, micro cap, very, very small, had a huge pop all the way up to 550, even 575 at its highest this morning. We're consolidating around 250 right now. Just watching this $3 level, again, very, very small float. Got to tread lightly, I think, on the CCNC, guys. 160% on really no news.
The other concern here, like it puts in a higher low. If it breaks 315, I'll probably take a shot at this one to the long side, just on a pure squeeze play. Whenever it puts in a bottom like this, after that big of a flush, I think it's going to be worth at least one shot here. I just want to quickly jump over and get to MTP, I believe. This one is on the radar once again. It's just a bit of a pullback play. I saw you guys talking about this in the chat. So again, if I ever see consolidation lower, it's a simple play. It consolidated 285, lower than the 325 high. There was a breakdown right at the 75 mark. I took the short. Been working it out all the way through. It was a $2 stock on Friday. This one I don't necessarily think is going to get that far. That's why I have the bulk of the position out. 75% already covered, and 2/4 is going to be my ultimate target on this short. NNDM is a bit of a different story here. This was active last week. It was actually my best stock on Friday. Today, here's all I'm concerned about. It puts in a lower high pre-market off of that 6. 6 was that top where we got out before on Friday, and then rolls over right here. It broke the bottom of the range at 535. If it breaks 5 even, I'm looking down here at that 470. So Friday afternoon, not Friday lows, but Friday afternoon lows would be the ultimate target. I think even the 5 break might get you some momentum if you're not in to maybe short that price. If it takes out that top at any point, I'm looking for breakouts. Long breakouts were great on NNDM before. I would expect the same thing if it ever took 6.
Only 50 seconds to go, guys. You're talking a lot about NEO. I actually like a short down through 28. Believe it or not, guys, it was such an incredible run last week that I kind of like the short now. Just think there'll be some profit taking into this week. Look at I don't need to tell you about it, but we'll look at it anyways. This is the NEO last week. 21, we bumped up to 28, 29, like this is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like it's this big bump up here every day, reaching new highs. So I think it's a little overheated. Watch out for a 28 break. We will take that one. We'll take Nikola through 2025. We have Hertz going through the top. Coming up, man, only 15 seconds to go. Palantir also I like through 990. You could see that one pop through, guys.
Yeah, and there goes that countdown. I believe we got Randy on the bell this Monday morning. I know you guys love him. There it is. I can't see what that. He's got the bull. Let's get an up market if he's dropping the bull. Let's see it. Ring that bell, my good friend. Looking at Hertz. I'm not even going to try to talk over that because it's completely impossible. I love the enthusiasm from Randy there. Nikola already breaks that 2020, so taking the first shot there. MTP, just got to watch this one. It's still sliding to the downside. Only difference, and I think Sean and I were both looking at this trade, is I only want to give it to that 80 mark, so 1980 is going to be my out.
Yeah, I'm already into Nikola right now. And yeah, same thing. I think, what did I give it to? 1991 or so, maybe on the downside. We have too many shares to be holding this for too long. But yeah, this is it right here. Yeah, 1963 or so on the downside of Nikola. Okay, we do have Alibaba. And yeah, we did this one again, guys. Bang! Superman is in the building with a $2 win right now on Alibaba long through 310, guys. So we have this long 310.50. Alibaba exploding to the upside. Big win here, guys. Let's take a little bit off. Enjoy this $2. Big win here for Alibaba. A $2 win to start the day. Money coming through already. Just got to watch out for Nikola. Let's go.
Nikola is going to that upside here, Sean. So this one looks pretty good. MTP, I just got some shares out 235. It looks like we might hit our target almost right away. So let's do some backflip action for that. But it's all about this Nikola break to the upside. You're seeing this move here. Broke that 2050. That's going to mean got to take some profits. We talk about quarters. We talk about 50s. We talk about 75. So you'll probably see me get some out on the way up to that there. I don't have any real targets when it comes to levels to that upside because it was that big gap on Friday. But let's see if we can't get to that 21. Already a nice little trade on Nikola. And NDM still working to the downside as well. The only thing it hasn't triggered in just yet is still waiting to see if Zoom can run. And it looks like we didn't get Zoom. Zoom did break up, Sean.
Did it? Yeah, Nikola, big win here for us on Nikola as it's going. We'll just have to make sure that we don't let it all come out, man. We did take a nice little win here for sure to the high side on Nikola right there. Bang, 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 bang. Nice trades on Nikola for show. Okay, NEO, we do have that to the short side. Did NEO even open yet? I don't even, oh yeah, there it is. There are some ends. So nice little move on NEO. We told you we'll go short. There it is, guys. A big win here on NEO. Yes, sir. Down to the 70s. A big one here for NEO. We're just trying to cash some of these out. How low can it go? Getting some out now, hopefully in the 70s, mid 80s. Okay, it looks like the move started downside. We did take some of that off, but now Neil's moving back up. Let's get some of this out, guys, before this does blow to the upside. Nice movements on NEO. Let's get some out in the 70s. Nikola still going. NEO still going. Hallelujah. What up, Beep?
Little mobile company GoGo here, guys. 5.5% to the upside this morning. Kind of testing these 52-week highs up here this morning on news. Charles Schwab has taken a significant stake in GoGo, guys.
Unable to get the break in Zoom, and let's see if we can't have to pull the pullback here, trade. We talked about that 74. I mean, look, it broke. We got to like 580, just came right back, and now we're going to take a long off of the pre-market bottom here. So I'm looking at 570. I just got 73s to the long side. We'll give it like $3, and if it takes out that high, not a bad little trade there. Nikola is having some trouble getting past that 2075, but we still got the long here, looking for that 21 target, already deeply in the money here on a 2025 long.
Guys, we've already hit our goal. We done. Yeah, big day already. A 3 for 3. Alibaba, $2 in the money, guys. Nikola, 70 cents now in the money. Boom! What a big day for us. We gave this all to you guys. I gave you Nikola. I gave you Alibaba. This is a $3 winner. Nikola's a big winner. NEO, we gave that to you. We're almost out of everything that we had for NEO to the downside through 28. It's just been a monster day, guys. Let's just make sure we cash out of everything that we have because, yeah, we basically done. We hit our goal already. So the bulls are running. Short on Neo, man. Long on Nikola. Long on Alibaba. Bang. What a big day it's already been. Rain down the money. Come on, Nikola. We've already got $1 in the money. So let's just keep this one going, man. Out, 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 out. To the high side. Hope you're having fun. Because if you're not, I sure as hell am. Baba, 3.25 right now, guys. This stock is just ripping. Let's take out $3 winner right now and then hold the rest, man. Good trade here, Baba.
Yeah, and we're going to go to Brendan in just a quick second here. I just got out of, we just broke 21.25 and 21.50 on Nikola. I'm all done with that trade. Target on Zoom. First one is going to be in front of that previous pre-market high. Next target, that 580, which was put in just literally a minute or so ago off that open. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Nice little pop here for Snapchat, guys. Snap in New York up 2.7%. Decent volume as well. A couple of analysts talking about the positivity around this name ahead of earnings coming up on the 20th of the month, guys, for Snapchat.
Bang, man. We're just doing this again. Home runs after home runs. Line it up and knock these things out of the park. Nikola right now, $1 win, guys. Baba, $3 in the money. We just cashed out of our Neo. I did not want to see this thing break above. That's a big winner for us, man. Neo to the downside. There's Alibaba. We take off that $3. Now we have half left on Neo. Sorry, a third left on Neo as on Baba. As it just keeps on ripping. 310 out there, 313. Big trade. I haven't even looked at the chat. I hope you guys are hitting this with us. Nikola, we just took that out. Bang, bang, bang to the upside. We're going to tweet all these out, but this has been a monster day for us thus far. Really, really happy with the way this is going. We got to find some more. Yeah, I missed that zoom to the high side, but I know Neil has it. So far, so good. Look at NASDAQ ripping right now, guys. Big time trades. We go 3 for 3. What else is new around here? Let's go.
Yeah, I'm about to go 5 for 5, but I hit the bowling one, not just because we line them up and knock them down, because congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers for going to the World Series. And I like Mookie Betts on that team, and that guy is literally such a great athlete that he is a world-class bowler. I talked about the first target on Zoom here being at that pre-market high. It just took it out there, so I'll catch a quick $2.50 winner on the first leg here. Now I'm looking to see if we can get back up to 580. It's worth noting I didn't get this on the original break. Obviously I like it the first time a little bit better than the second time, but I'm still going to see if we can't get a $5 win in front of that high. I can get you guys back over to MTP. This one feels like it's going to be a safe slide to the downside. 230 we already got to, so I mean 225 was the target. Maybe I wasn't aggressive enough thinking this one could fall further. I actually told you guys I didn't think it would go all the way back to 2 even. Starting to doubt myself here as this could be one of those good short retracements all day long. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Penn National, guys, some of the gaming stocks a little bit negative here. Penn 2.8% straight down off the open. There was even a Rosenblatt note out this morning talking about the positivity around this name, but very weak so far for Penn, guys.
You know, I was wondering the same thing. Here goes Nikola, man. Big win, more than $1 in the money on that one. Okay, we're almost out, by the way, of everything that we have. Okay, DraftKings right now also making those moves to the downside. I feel like DraftKings has just been getting pummeled lately. They did have that share offering, and I have no idea, how negative DraftKings has been lately. I mean, check out the daily chart on this. It looks nothing like Penn has held up, and DraftKings has just gotten slaughtered to the point where we're now below the 50 period. I got to do more work on this one because I love DraftKings and I want to get more. I think this is an awesome opportunity to get more long on DraftKings, but right now it just continues to fall down. And I don't know. I mean, I got to do more work before I trade this because I had no idea what kind of hell this stock is going through right now. So that is DraftKings. I'm going to leave it alone. I just simply don't understand enough about it. So we'll wait on DraftKings. Neo still hovering around that 28. As I said, we've crushed that early and we crush it often. So let's look back. This is not a horrible spot. 28.15. We'll get over that and see if that's the one that we need to take, guys.
Yeah, I just told you the targets it just hit the second one on Zoom. So we'll take the $5 win. And again, you can have different structure for those trades. I know some people are going to be looking at that breakout and say, I just want to hold it forever. I'm going to be scalping always inside of ranges. I like the 74. The second time through, fair enough. I'm going to get out in front of that high. The first time it goes, if I catch that, sometimes it never turns around, and I'm going to like that trade a little bit longer for the hold, but I stick to the plan. It's already a nice win on Zoom. We're going to hunt for Hertz. I haven't even looked at it yet this morning. Haven't needed to with all the action we've seen. Brennan, what's up, buddy?
AMC, guys, one from the watch list. Struggling here at pre-market highs, 340. Tried to test above it, but right back down. Look at the volume behind this move today, 12%. We're in this gap now on the daily chart. So a nice look for AMC so far, guys.
Yeah, we talked about that short, that could have been a nice one as well. Okay, we're trying to trade a little bit of luck in coffee, but it's not doing anything, so we'll get out of that one. Alibaba, we're still waiting for the high side here. We already got out of 2/3 of our trade at 313. Just trying to see if it wants to break even higher now. Very similar to Zoom, which Neil's covered as well. Breaking new all-time highs. We talked about 575. Get that on the retracement pullback. Great trade up to 580. So we're looking for the same retracement or same move up on Alibaba right now. My out will probably just be this 310.50. We'll hold this all the way back to flat and get out and celebrate. We've already took off $3 on this name, so good trade there. I guess it was 280 or so. So good trade there on Alibaba, but we are waiting for a little bit more to see if we can't get that on 2/3. But here it comes screaming back to the downside. So watch out right now for some of these longs. Don't really trust them too much, but we're going to hold a third back to our in point, 310. We'll give that to 310. If we lose on it, we lose on it, but this is well worth the risk. Nikola, I still got it. I mean, we hammered this one. We took out the big shares. You guys know, and that's another thing, man. Like, we'll tell you when we're putting on the risk, and that was a big one here for us. We take out the big stick that did not hit. We take out the stick there and hit that at 220. You guys know we talked all about that one, man. I even drew the line for you early on. So we'll wait for that. If it does break back below 21, we're going to get out. But we're going to let the last 10% ride on Nikola.
Just watching the AMC look, it talked about that 350. I mean, technically speaking, if you want to put a penny on it, it's actually 351. So I'll allow it to break a penny or two up before I take any breakouts to the long side. It's going to be hard to stay away from shorting any kind of a rollover on this name. So you might see me dip into a position in front of 50 on the off chance that it doesn't break. But either way, AMC, it is what it is. I might not be going to the theater, but the recovery is on for this name, and it might actually break that 350 level. Didn't anticipate it happening so quickly, but here we are.
Yeah, AMC, big moves today for sure. AAL, Nikola, Baba, Hertz. Let's go back and check out Hertz. Hertz did not HRTZ, HTZ. Fingers getting freezing again here. So, okay, Hertz 258 to the downside. These are these levels. Remember I told you guys that it would be choppy between 280 and 230? Well, welcome to the chop club right now. Hertz looks to be exactly that. I'm not excited until this thing gets to 280, guys. What's up, Beep?
Just looking at this MOBL, Neil, you were mentioning this one. White Hat Capital Partners planning to vote against proposed sale of Mobileron to Avanti. That's the latest headline out here this morning on this, but yeah, significantly higher. Very light volume, but MOBL, guys. Yeah,
that's squeezing up because I think it was supposed to be a cash offer like 705. So we're trading at like 730. That should be interesting to see if it can hold above that price. CCNC, guys, here's the halt. I talked about liking this one potentially on a break at 315. This is the problem. I mean, it went parabolic through, so unless you're super aggressive with your stop order, you're probably not going to catch this, which I didn't. Halts to the upside, reopens, then comes down. So at this point, I guess that long bet is going to be off. I can't take it after it immediately snaps back to the downside here. Still going to watch that $2 level, 220 to 220 area for potential support down there. But either way, CCNC firmly on the radar, looking for it to reopen any second now because it's been about over 5 minutes actually. So if it's a volatility halt, it's either 5 or 10 minutes. This one could open shortly. Brendan, what's up?
Back to KXIN here. This Cation Auto just taking out the top here of the pre-market. I mean, disregard these wicks. This level, kind of 375, 380. We're above that now, testing 4 for KXIN, guys.
And we're pretty huge on this right now. Rainmaker, we got this one, guys, 377. We're just cashing out now at 412. No, sorry, 412 is the highest we got. We got 404. It's at 412 right now. So KXIN looks like it's going to halt any minute now. They're hitting the bid. It's going to halt. This is what it looks like generally when it halts, and there it is, halt. So we have this one. So cowbells all through, man. KXIN almost goes to the top of my board right here. Big win. We talked about getting that long. Thanks for the market cap update, 120 mil or so. We take the long on the break, and bang, we gave that one to you. That's why we hit the sirens for you on that. Whoa, that was loud. Okay, Nikola right here, still taking out the top, man. We're waiting for 21. This is $1.30. Alibaba's still bouncing around. Good trade there as well, guys. It's been a big morning for a lot of these names. Let's check out another one, the one that I love the most, which is Mr. Softy. Like, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 6 so far today, guys. And Softy, man, I hate these dark prints, but we continue to move to the upside. 222. Looks like it wants to take that out. Softy on an upgrade today. That that could be good, man. Where's 222? Okay, that was the top there on Friday. 222.20, even better. So yeah, this could be a problem at 222. Let's wait to make sure it breaks. Let's go long upside here. Is that the best? Yeah, that's the best we can get. Up here, guys. 222.30 for Microsoft. Let's play that patient game and see if we can get it ripping to the north side here. Microsoft, 220.30. Put your bids there. Put your limit orders to get long. 220.30. That's what I'm doing, guys.
Hertz has, for now at least, held that first level, that 250 that we were looking at a little bit earlier. 230, 250, 230, the two levels that maybe there could be some support down there if it manages to hold it. We also like that 285. It feels like 250 is going to be the first levy to break. I'm going to take a short momentum trade through on a 250 break. If it holds above it, I'd like to see if we can't capture a quick long on Hertz. No trades yet, but it's getting pretty spicy here. Brennan, what's up?
Another once vaccine-related or virus-related name here, OPK, Opco Health, up 4.5%, 4.5%, just broke 450 there on a volume spike. They reported earnings pre-market this morning that were better than expected. So it's been on a bit of a tear here as the virus talk has picked up once again over the past couple of weeks. So 450, big-time level for OPK.
All right, so I guess Neil's always the halt master, but I'm guessing that this has halted, obviously, KXIN here due to volatility. So we'll see, like this thing ripped from 280 up to 410 before finally halting. So when we're stuck in a halted state like this is what it looks like on our screen. So we'll wait to see where we're going to get out eventually when this thing does reopen back to the high side. Look at the market, man, just ripping northbound right now. Nickel $1.50 in the money. I'm going to tweet this out. We're going to tweet out our KXIN. Follow us all on Twitter, man, as we continue to go. Right now, we have coming up as well, guys. If you're watching us for the first time today, we often have our guests coming up. And today, Quest Cap Inc. They're looking at COVID. This is a big time company just uplisted right now to the NEO exchange. A lot of advantages to that. That's coming up with Brendan at 11:45. CEO Doug Somerville and doctor at Stanford, guys. It reads like Murderer's Row there. Big time Lauren Steinman coming as well. So we're really happy with that. 11:45. Check out an easy way to get your ear on the ground to some of these new companies. Do your due diligence. Brendan has some great questions lined up for Quest Cap, guys.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a fantastic one. And just want to go back to MTP, and I sort of said this all morning long, and it's just going to have to reiterate it. Sometimes the targets need to be a little bit more aggressive. It just broke 225. It just broke 220. I still have a little bit of this trade on here, but it's not going to be much. I'm going to put the last bid in front of 2 even. If it gives it to me, fine. I actually, when you take a winning trade, sometimes you have a stop to the downside. My Zoom long stop triggered. I'll just immediately take it out, just get out flat. You pay the price, guys. I didn't want that trade in the first place. I only liked it to that long, but it just broke 570. This MTP looks like it's going to be a great one, but let's jump back over to KXIN.
Yeah.
I know you're looking at that hold, Sean. We talked about this top here, and the reason I won't have this breakout at 410 at the high of day is you never want it parabolic. If you take that break, it's instantly halting on you, so I'll always cancel an order in that case. But sort of worth noting, there is that 450 level from last week. If it cannot break that, I think there might be a shot that there's going to be a retracement play. But, I mean, it's going to be hard not to look at that break at 450 if this reopens and then jumps to the upside, which should be in like 30 seconds or so. If it's a 5-minute halt, I'm expecting it in 30 seconds. The other halt that we're looking at was CCND here. CCNC, check that. CCNC. AMC just broke to the upside. This one halting and then opening down. It's that $2.20 and $2 area if it can find support that I think could be interesting on CCNC for a bounce play. But right now, looking awfully weak. I can't believe AMC already broke 350. Already have the long here, guys.
Yeah, AMC is a difficult stock there today. Oh, wow. Nikola goes all the way to 2180. Let's take some off if it goes to 2160 again. We let that thing run all the way to the upside there. We have 5% left. So we're going to get out if it breaks through 21, but I am going to put an order up here, 2160, just to tick it if we can. And there goes KIXN opening back up, guys, to a lot of fanfare, up as high as 420 and change. We'll see if we get some out now. Looks like it's fading back. Yeah, there it goes. Looks like it's fading back in. So we'll get some out 98s right there. And let's hold the rest, man. We're really light on this name as it comes right back down. KIXN, the steam is out of this one. We're out. We literally have 20% left. So let's see if this one keeps mooning. But other than that, man, KXIN, big time winner for us. We gave that to you in the pre-market, and I just hope you have it with us, guys. KXIN, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, the key thing too is it's on the watch list. I know there's going to be some ones that are a little bit lower than the list. We don't get to them all. That's why you want to tune in and make sure you're following along. Brennan, what's up there, buddy?
SMMC, guys, another day, another SPAC. South Mountain Merger Corporation taking a company called Bill Trust public in a new deal, 1.3 billion in value. So this SMMC, if you're noticing that one, doing decent volume so far, about 4.5 million. Trending to the upside, the deal announced this morning, guys. Okay,
we're going to get this out at 429. I just put an order there to get out some. It looks like it doesn't want to go too much more than this. I was like, here we go. I went up to 450 and stopped. So we'll get out of the last bit and then see if we can hold 10% more. KXIN making dreams happen if you're long early. Give it to us, and boom, there it is. No, we did not get it. Yes, we did. No, we did not. My order did not go through. We'll have to find out why. KXIN right now, good trade. Let's get out of some more. Here it goes, saving us a little bit of money there, but I thought we were going to get out at 29. So let's get out of KXIN now and leave the rest for the high side on this stock, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you say 450. 450, remember, that's that Friday high. I like the break there. I think there's more squeeze to happen, or to come at least, if it breaks that 450 mark. That's where my stop's going to be. But if it fails, let's say we take one more test at that top, get up there, reverse right at that 450, or turn around shy of it. I think that might give you some juice to a short trade if you're going to be involved. For me, I'm just looking breakout at that 450 mark until we're done with it. I'm going to give AMC till about 340 on that break. The volatility isn't always gigantic on it, so let's tread at least a little bit lightly here. We did talk about the dip buy in AMC maybe being a little bit better if we got a chance, and here it is immediately failing on the break. So I'll give it to 340. If it breaks out, we'll take the 10-cent hit and move on. Should be the first losing stock of the day, but I was a little surprised by how quickly that tested that level to the upside. There goes that KXIN, and I couldn't even get the trigger there. So I guess not aggressive enough on my buy order. 450 now come and gone, guys.
Yeah, guys, KXIN. Boom! We only got 10% left, but it's a big run, man. Why did we get out at 425 there? Who knows? But now you're up to 480, 450. Yeah, my 450 also did not get shares. I only actually crossed up 5 cents for that one because the spread was good. But look, when it opens up, man, 5 cents is not enough. What am I doing? Nice little winner for KXIN. Hope you guys have this with us. Alibaba now back to the high side, $2 in the money. Unfortunately, our Nicola does come out through 21. Big time winner for us today. We go 6 for 6 right now, guys, and just pounding the pavement here for you. Hopefully you're able to make some money with us today. It's been a big one, and you can see that on the board. I'm sorry, it's 5 for 5, not 6 for 6, including Bitcoin 6 for 6. So let's keep going. Nicola to the high side now. Bitcoin not really moving. We'll get an update on that with Brendan after. But right now, you got something else, B?
OSUR, guys, another high here through 1760 on another huge volume spike. So this is what I was talking about. We need to be a little bit careful here. Very, very thinly traded through 1760 now on more volume for OSUR, guys.
There goes NNDM. We'll keep the fireworks going on this name as for a couple of days in a row, it's been one of the better trades for me. Short off that 535. Talked about a pre-market here. Just got a 50-cent win, so it'll be a nice little win here. I actually have no targets to the downside. That's why we have to take this one out. And I sort of mentioned this. You just really look at where it was on Friday. This was a bottom at 470. That's the only reason I can take it out. I know there's a heck of a lot more room to go. Watch the 450 level. That would be the next one to the downside. If we can't hold that, the floodgates could really open up. The key is that it could not hold or break through Friday's high in the aftermarket. So the flush is now on an NNDM.
Okay, I mean, we just continue to. KXIN, guys, just continues to be super spicy. Hitting the upside. It tries 5 there, it doesn't break. So we'll wait to see 5. We still got this one long. We're long, and we tweet this out. Boom! A nice little one right there. We're cooking up the profits today as KXIN, man. We're long at 378. So this is $1.50 in the money on a $3, actually a $4 name. So the math right there, 25, 30% return for you all if you just took this trade right now. So this is, I'm long here, 938, guys. Big time mover to the north side here. KXIN just keeps on moving. We talked about them being in the right space at the right time, used cars and low float. So KXIN, I don't know how high this can go up, but we're going to keep holding it forever and see how high that is. How high can you fly, KXIN, as we say? Let's just keep going alongside on that one. JP Morgan, we've looked at the banks a couple times recently. 101.50. Look, a nice move back for JP Morgan. Really surprised at that. I did think that this was not the greatest environment for banks. And then look where they bounce off of, man. The 50 period. So that's one thing that I always look at. And it's nice to see JP Morgan getting some love off that 50 period, 99 and change. So now we look at this, 102.50. We're a little bit ways away on JP Morgan. I don't really see anything here for a day trade. Nice consolidation back downside. Neo back to 28.40. Missed that one. This was an easy trade for me early. We talked about going short. early, and we do that at the 28. We get out huge, big time win. This should have been long right here, 28-23. So we'll wait to see if it can come back to VWAP. Other than that, I don't know, man. Do we really want to take these breakouts? 28.60. We'll have a little bit of a longer look, but I do like 28.60 possibly on a break here for NEO.
Yeah, speaking of high flyers and runners here, just watch out for Zoom here. It's trying to make a bit of a bottom. There was a nice breakout, and again, like I said, the second time I take it, I'm not going to like it as much as the first. Maybe gave away a couple of dollars, and we could have had a little bit more, but was just afraid of this possible retracement. The fact that we're holding here, this 568 to 570, definitely a solid sign, but the market not exactly screaming to the upside as we just start coming off. We're still up 1% on the NASDAQ. But we start coming off a little bit. Zoom has been one of the bigger runs, so if it's going to be a down day, I would watch out for this. I'm going to be done with the long on Zoom, at least for now, until I see a more solid base of operations or at least support. If it's been a wonderful morning for you, then now is not a bad time to remind you guys that coming up, no, hit the right one. No, sorry, did I hit the wrong one there? I meant to do this one for you guys. Coming up, it's been a good market open. We talk about not necessarily just trading the open, but how you can profit from literally that first few seconds. If you've been watching the first minute or two, you'll hear us hitting keys, you'll see us going nuts. That's because there's so much liquidity and there's so much activity right in those first few minutes, whether it's the imbalance locator. This is why we want to do this video, part 2, for you guys, trading the market open, how you can profit from it, so you can have days like today. That's on our Market Wisdom page. We drop videos every single day. I think this one is going to be a good one. If you can't tell, it's been an exciting morning and a good one so far. I got to jump over to a name that was not on our watch list, guys, but Dave & Buster's is almost up 10%. Just popped through a 17 even break. The volume is only about 1 million shares, but it is right up on this 1780 level. Let's watch out for this. I think this could be a bit of a turn here on Dave & Buster's if we do get a 1780 a test. Second time, I'd probably look for a short. Brendan, what's up?
I was just checking on this scene marks, CNK. Not seeing anything in the way of news. I mean, this is another theater operator, so kind of riding the back of that AMC news this morning. But CNK, huge volume as well, guys, from $8 all the way up to $8.90 already. Watch $9 looks like a bit of a level for CNK on the daily chart. Guys, if you're liking what you're seeing so far, we do this every single day. As long as the markets are open, join us, won't you? Hit the subscribe button, guys. We're so close to 100,000. Get us through to that 100,000 mark, won't you? Coming up later in the week, and we're talking about Friday morning. Yeah, our friend Kevin O'Leary back on the show once again, about 10 o'clock, 10:15. Kevin O'Leary is going to give us an update about all things he's involved with, how he's been kind of, weathering the storm as far as COVID is concerned. So very excited to have Kevin O'Leary coming back, guys, on Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we did get, thanks for that, Brendan. And good look on that. We were waiting for that. So Kevin O'Leary, good friend of the show. Okay, so unfortunately, KXIN, we remained as disciplined as we can. We get out there when it comes back down. Looked like it was going to test VWAP. We got out at 425 break. Obviously cost us $1, so crickets. Right now because we did miss that opportunity. KXIN still one of the top stocks for me today, but we are out of that on this fail break. On the downside there, it wicked us out. We got out. You know what? I'm actually going to test along one more time. 530 breaks will go along one more time, and we'll see if we can't catch that break to the high side right now. But KXIN falls down. Alibaba, we get out. And look at this, guys. Nice window on Alibaba. So feeling like Superman today on a lot of these calls. We're in, we're out like a light, and it was a good one. Breaks through VWAP, get out 311.60. Capture some of that profit as well. KXIN, Alibaba, Nikola, NEO, all big trades for us today. Market coming back in quite nicely right now, but it looks like it made a bottom at 11,880 there. So the futures making moves back to the high side. We got to still find some stocks. I do like Microsoft still. 220 it was. Let's see where we're at. 222, sorry. It was the high side. Now we failed. This is what we have to look at right now. Some of these failed stocks back to the downside. Why did some of these stocks move so much? Just against the futures here. We're going to find some long.
Just that NASDAQ rollover is the only thing that I see. But Hertz does break to the upside. It took out the pre-market top here at 280. I didn't get the fill, but I did catch it on the way back in. So it came right back and gave me 81s. We're going to look to see if it can't test back up to 3. Now, it got as high is barely breaking 3 here. A bit of a stall here in my charts there, so apologies for that, guys. It's just a bit of a gap. You can certainly see that we need to test that 3 even area, so I'll definitely be scalping some out in front of it if I get a chance, and then looking for a 3 break as a separate trade. So hurts because of the volume, 120 million. I'm going to choose to be active on it as opposed to holding any trades forever. First target about that 85 to 90 range, and then from there 90-95, and then 3 even break, of course, going to be in play for us. Just got some shares out on AMC as that just broke above 360. So first, it's going to be a 10-cent win. I don't really have any obvious targets on AMC to work with here, guys. This is just a potential breakout play. If people are going to go back to the theaters, I'm not going to fight it. We're just going to stick with this one here. Every 5 pennies, we'll start to work this one out in front of 375. I don't think it gets to 4. It's already made a big move already this morning.
Okay, guys, we hit the siren alert because it's a new trade alert for us. Mr. Softy is in the building right now as we continue to make this move north side, hopefully. We're long 220.28. So there it is. Boom! A nice little 10-cent win to start off with here on Softy. Let's see if we can't get higher. Let's go on Mr. Softy. Nice little trade here, trying to work it off of this bottom of 220. So we'll see if it can go the high side. We're waiting up right now, 220.48. Maybe we'll get out of some right now for 15, 17 cents or so win on Microsoft. Nice little move high side now. But watch out, man. You don't want to be like trying to catch some of these bottoms when we're not sure of this NASDAQ move. It looks like it could break the bottom right now again. So we're massaging this Microsoft trade, but look, there it is, getting aggressive to the downside. You got to watch out for a lot of these trades, man. NASDAQ breaking, and I just saw how fast Microsoft whipped down. I might actually move over to AMD right now, guys. Have a look at AMD and just see what's going on. NASDAQ moving very violently right here, guys.
Thank you. And thank you, Valeria, for the reload on the coffee, guys. Speaking of reloads, I'm actually staring one in the face if I like it at that 350 mark on AMC. It turned around at 360. That's at least for now. Because I only got like 20% out, if I had taken more shares out, I would be happy to load back in. If it gets to 340, I think that's where I'd prefer a bit of a dip buy action on AMC. So let's look to see if I can't get some on a pullback on AMC. The market is coming back in. Hertz got close to first target, but didn't quite get there. I might need to take some out in front of 290. Brendan is ready. It's already 10 o'clock. Wowzers. Time for happening now.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock already. Let's have a look at North American markets here. Nicely positive top to bottom for the board so far. On a Monday, S&P is 0.23. We're holding positive, but only just. The Dow 0.1%. The NASDAQ trying to lead here, but again, we're struggling a little bit. 0.3% now for the composite, 0.25 for the 100. The Russell, 0.5% to the upside still. You can see here in Toronto, the TSX just positive. Same story down in Brazil. If you're following along with the BOVESPA, about 1%. For Brazil stocks, AAL, a few things from the watch list, guys, still moving around. AAL, we talked about the gap to the upside. Initial weakness here kind of failed the second time back at the high there. We're coming back in on decent volume for AAL. They announced plans for the 737 MAX coming up in December if it gets cleared by the FAA. Zoom, another one struggling. Came back to this pre-market high and failed at 572, looking to move lower. Still holding the gap, but if it gets into that gap, might see some weakness. This one's crazy so far. CCNC, big move up to 4, all the way back down to 2. Kind of struggling at 2 here. It's been halted already, guys. CCNC going crazy.
In the market right now, oh, there it is. Yeah, thank you, CNC. Look, coming up, guys, you see what's on the board there. Good little look. Microsoft, look, we were able to get some out there, for a little bit of less bloodshed. Right now, we're pretty light on this stock. Now, we covered out at 14.15. We covered some out at 27 right now to the high side. So we are back long 2019. So it's right here, man. 2019 is our long. We're going to get out if it does break below this 220 level. So a little bit of damage there on Microsoft, but it's actually a profitable stock. We just need it to go. Look at our Alibaba. We picked some up right here. 310. We're defending that 310 level. Only goes down about 50 cents. Now look where we're ripping to the high side right now. Another 20, 30 cent win. Depends on the spread. It's 30 cents if you take the ask right now. More than that. What am I talking about? 50 cents right now on Alibaba. So a nice little win on that one. We're waiting to see what we can do elsewhere. Hertz, We did take that long, breaking through the pre-market high. I got a little bit more patient with it than Neil. I think Neil had a better price, obviously, through 80. It does go as high as 90. We cashed out of some there. We still waiting on Hertz, man. I'm going to give it right back down to this level, 270. So if it breaks 270, we down. And here comes Microsoft back to the high side right now. This is where we're long, man. 220.20. Where do we have some outs? 220.50. Take it, Neil.
I got a buyer here, and just immediately, the second I try to show you guys a buyer in AMC, 400,000 share bid, immediately pulled, and I saw no fill. So on my time and sales here, there was no corresponding fill. Looks like it was just a big bid trying to push the stock up. Now I'm in the money on this long, but it is starting to slide off here just a little bit. And if someone's messing around with the stock, I don't want to give it too far. I was giving this to 340. I'm going to tighten this one up a little bit. If it breaks past 350, I'm just going to get out. I don't need anyone playing games on this name. If it takes a top off, maybe we can take a second breakout. Hertz, for me, hasn't really gone here. I had a chance to take a 10-cent win. I just didn't do it. I still think there's a good opportunity if we can hold this 270. We get another push to that 3 even.
Guys, here we go, man. Big time win. Yes, a big time win on Softy. So here we go, man. Averaging, and never gets us out. We just get out there at 49s, 39s, upside. Now 49s. We're long. Microsoft 220.16. 30-cent win right now on Softy. 70-cent win right now on Alibaba, man. The chicken dinner winners just keep on coming today, and there's more coming. We just got to get a few more names, so give us one, Brendan.
I mentioned this one back on Friday, guys. Flextronics, now called Flex. Back to the upside again today. Another analyst with a positive note on this one. So you remember the big gap up. We moved all the way up to 15 on Friday. It's trying to test that high right now for Flex, guys.
So just going to give you guys a CCNC. Now, I mentioned this one off of a $2 area, but there was like a 220 bottom here in the pre-market. Then it held a little bit higher. Halts to the downside after an upward halt, and now bouncing off that pre-market low. So I jump in off of that little bounce. I'll take it here at 229-ish. Give it like 15 pennies. I think it was a good shot. I can work some of this off in front of this halt price at 273. That's where it reopened, actually. And then if there's a secondary push, we can benefit from that. So I'm not looking to take the 10-cent win that's in the money. I'm looking for like 30, 40, at least on the first leg. And then if we can take this one for a secondary parabolic move, fair enough. I'd be all out if it even approaches that $4 mark. I'm not going to sit there and be greedy with it. Hertz is making another push to the upside. This time, I think I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive on the way up. Take some off at 85, 90, 92, that range to the upside. I did not look at this. I did not take my profit on the first spike. Thought there'd be a bigger squeeze. This time I will take some profit on the way up to 3. Brendan, what's up?
Lithium names starting to go here. If you remember LAC, Lithium America, 12.5%, just made a new high there on a volume spike through 1350. Kind of getting back into these levels from a few weeks back on the daily chart. So LAC, decent volume to the upside, guys.
Okay, guys, what we're looking at here is the morning movers. This is the list that we give out for free. One of the mistakes that I made, growing up in this business was not trading the proper stocks every single day. You kind of just can't ignore these, and it's the morning movers, man. It's free. Watchlist.tradertv.live. Valerio dropped the link. Tesla, Hertz. We go over all of these names. No, don't go 90%. We go over all of these names early off in the morning so you can follow on with us. Look at this, guys. Oh, we don't. I thought KXIN was on here. Maybe it was. There it is. KXIN up 69%. My biggest stock today. We took 30% winner on KX. It's not my biggest stock, but KXIN. Big win today on that name, and that's on the Zoom. So is Zoom. That's on the watch list. Tradertv.live. Make sure you catch that. We get a little creative ourselves as well. And I put Baba on the watch list today, and then it just rips to the upside here. Beautiful trade on Alibaba. We get in again and take this now to the upside. I think this is worth getting out, man. If we could take right now, we're long at 310.20. A nice little 40-cent win here on Alibaba as the market looks to be struggling again. So I'm going to get this out if it breaks down below 310.50 and put in our pocket that 30 cents and just keep this money raining down, Neil.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you have to do sometimes. And I'm going to go with Slaying the Dragon. And it's a long on that CCNC. Obviously, a short off the halt would have been good. I just mentioned it to you, 229 to the long side. Just took some out in front of the 50s for a quick 20-cent win. It's approaching that previous halt price. So obviously, like I said before, if it gets to that 270, it has a chance to go parabolic. But I'm going to take some more profit here in front of it. Again, it's going to be a decent win, about 30 pennies or so. But If we get a break of this 73 and we get another parabolic sort of move to the upside, got to watch out for potential halts. And if I see it forming a halt, I'm just going to get out of the last third of this position, whether it's broken $3 or not, guys. So I don't want to hold through a halt. I'm making that determination ahead of time. One of the things you'll see here is my level 2 will stop and halt at one price, and you'll see an order or an offer building up here at that level 1 offer. If that happens, I know it's likely to halt, and I'll just get right out on that little bit if I can. Seems like it's trying to pull back in just a little bit. CCNC, not quite to $3, so about like 10, 15 cents shy of that. It is what it is, guys. You can't necessarily predict exactly where these will go. I am going to tighten my stop up now to make sure it holds 250 and I can lock in profit. The last third can't lose no matter what. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Another medical name here, guys, from China. BIMI out with earnings this morning, pre-market. Another one that's also kind of faded this entire move higher. Got up to 440 there, but all the way back to $3 here on decent volume for BIMI. Still 50% on the day.
BIMI, yeah. Look, this is why we get out of some of that Alibaba trade. Now we have 5% left. We're going to get out if it breaks through 310. We talked about getting out at 340.50 there, so that's a good one. Arrows down on some of these stocks right now, as it looks like the market's trying to fade through a little bit of these levels, just working its way downside right now. So Alibaba's trying to make that move. Neil, our Hertz went right back up, so nice little trade here. We're long at 86. I know you got this one as well, and I think we're both deciding to take out some profits here. So I'm going to wait for 90 to break. My offer's actually at 93. So here we go to the upside. A nice little Hertz win. We did talk about scalping this one instead of holding for the moon, but this is a nice little trade here. I think we got this. There it is, out at 93. Yes, sir. Double wins here for us both.
Yeah, got to be happy with Hertz here, but apologies because I think I said $3, but the pre-market high on Hertz is actually 302. So my stop is for the 302 break. I'm actually going to take a breakout long at 3 even. I'm going to wait for it to break through that top, and I'm going to be all out of this 281 long in front of it. I think holding through isn't the worst idea in the world. CCNC still in the money for me, but it's running out of steam just a little bit here, guys. So both these longs running into what looks like resistance at around a $3 level. I'm going to let this one try to break through 287. I've already trailed to 250. If we do get a 287 break, I'll move my stop up to like 75 or 80 and then see if you don't get that push for 3 even. I will get you guys back to MTP. This also on the watch list, guys. It's been a hectic morning, obviously, and a lot of things moving. Let me just zoom out. This one starting to fall asleep here. It's hit that bottom a couple of times. There goes Hertz. I'm all out of it now for a 15-cent win.
Yeah.
But this 213, $2 area looks like it's going to be the bottom on MTP. I might just have to trail this one to 225 and then see if I can't hold for the absolute bottom. 302 is going to be my breakout. Some size on the offer there at 3 on Hertz.
Love this. Congratulations to my kid who's long at 220 there. And I told him to get out. We're going to find out after the show if he did or not. Beautiful trade, my man. Congratulations. I know he watches the show, but you should be studying instead. But good call there, my man. And you can find him. And I dropped him off last week at his campus back for university there. So yeah, really, really proud of him and good call. Hopefully he's out. I want to get that call that he's out at $3 would be really nice. We're almost out of all of our Hertz, man. Beautiful trade. Long 85, out in 89, out 93, out 95 there. The scalp guy is back, baby. We hit the cowbells, man. Just add this one to the list. Everything. So Microsoft was flat. We actually got out of that on the way back down. So I'm still putting that one in our cap as a flat trade. So we're going to go perfect so far today, but it's been a slippery slope here. Look at the NASDAQ just fading this whole move on a Monday. Brendan at the big screen. Let's see what's been upgraded and downgraded today, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, time for upgrades and downgrades. Few we've talked about already, but let's have a look here. Ally, AMD, yeah, nice move to the upside on an upgrade today. Bristol Myers, another one very strong on the day on an upgrade. Biogen, United Rentals. This Mednax is like crazy this morning to the downside. Going to check on news. VF Corporation as well. Also, price target decreases. A couple of downgrades on that one. Trying to come back though, VF Corporation is. AMD, what a reversal up here. 84.75 ended up being the top. We're all the way back to 83.20. So through the entire range almost again for AMD. A lot of the other chip makers following suit as well, coming back to the downside, dragging in the NASDAQ as we were mentioning. Biogen here, yeah, I mean, not a huge move, but 279.50 down to 277, about to make a new day low. However, Not a lot of volume down there for Biogen, but downgraded. Guys, back over to you.
Definitely a lot of volume is KXIN that goes without saying. It just topped the 50 million mark, so it looks like we have another crazy one here. It just made a bit of a bounce off 415, so a couple of legs. This is noteworthy because it halted at 411. Now it's held above that open halt price to the upside. That usually a bit of a bullish sign. If it retests the top, that would not surprise me. I'm not looking to short this thing unless we're below both that and this level here, that 365 area. That was after the halt, that was the bottom. Until it breaks down or gives me some sort of top that I have confidence in, which hasn't happened yet, I would stay away from the short. Well, I am staying away from the short, I should say, on KXIN. I'm not going to take the breakout through the high of the day on this one, as I have a couple of breaks that we're already looking at here, and Hertz is one of them. Like I said, I got all out in front of that 302 is that sort of mark to the upside, the current pre-market top. I'll take that one out. I apologize for a little gap in the charts there. That's just my system. I think Sean's actually looks fine, but I just was missing data on particularly Hertz for about a half an hour or so. If it does pull back in and hold 275, I think there's a dip buy opportunity in Hertz. Certainly, we saw how good it held levels both this morning and in the afternoon on Friday. So if 75 is going to be the same thing, maybe catch some scalps off that level with a hard stop. I wouldn't let it go past 270. So risk 5 cents. See if you can't get it back up to these 290s and 3 even areas on Hertz.
Yeah, I'm the same kind of thought there on HTZ right now. I'm out. So right now we have 20% left. Just going to hold the last back to here, and it's been a big win for us. Obviously, there as the market going red, but Hertz going green today, a big one, up another 17%. So congratulations to anybody that was holding that Hertz trade. Okay, Microsoft, again, we did get out on that break, but now it looks like it's just kind of maybe a false break of 220. I still have a lot of faith in this stock. Obviously, Microsoft, again, in for profits, out. You could see the trade here. In, out for their 40 cents, and then we drop out our 220.17 out at 219.90. So that's a 27-cent hit on that last little bit, and then a 30 or 40 cent hit or win on the top side. So still looking at that and looking at a good trade there for Microsoft and looking for more. Okay, Hertz though, 3. Okay, look, it's gonna have to break over 3 for me to get very, very aggressive. And I'm talking about like 310, 315, something like that. What is this level? 302. All right, so we got to get above 303, 304. I'm not going to take a 3 break. I like to see it get a little more juice ahead of it on that 3 break. So just FYI on that, 305 will be a pretty good smash city for that stock. And then here's the short, man. Sorry for everybody that's loving NEO. I said early on that I was probably only going to look short on this name, and that's what we did really early. I think I was actually in before the market opened, but 27.95, our best outs down in the 70s. NEO, a very positive stock for us today, and now making new lows. I'm sorry about that, but I just thought NEO was way overheated. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's the day chart. Big gaps up on the day chart. This stock has been ridiculous. $3 back in May, up to 30. So yeah, probably a little overheated, but it's in the right space. 27.60 is that low. And guess what, guys? I actually don't mind going short if we do break through 27.60. Not as much as I like Hertz breaking through the top, but NEO through 27.60 looks pretty good.
Yeah, speaking of stocks that look pretty good right now, I'm looking at this OSUR. Now, we did mention this name and saying the volume was so light in the pre-market, I was going to stay away from it. But the dip in the pre-market low gave you another ramp to the upside to about 1780. This retracement here, if we get back below, and let me just zoom out the 1 minute so you can see, this little opening range top was right at 1665. Let's just take a few pennies off here, call it 1660. We get below that, I'm looking for it to continue the retracement. It's up 22%. This is just some sell action on a pullback, some profit taking happening in OSUR. 1660 is my short. Brennan, what's up, buddy?
A couple other things from the volume list this morning, guys. If you've noticed, CXO, that Conoco deal finalized this morning. They announced all stock deal, finalized. There was rumors of it late last week, but all the way back down to where we were last week here for CXO after gapping up significantly. You can flip over to COP, the other one, doing exactly the same thing. All stock deal there, COP and CXO, guys.
All right, we're just tweeting out some of these money bags here on Hertz as we get out at 98 right there. And then now we're waiting. I'm going to put this on Twitter as well. Now we're waiting for a $3 break to the high side right now on Hertz. So watch very, very carefully, guys. 302 and change. I'm completely flat right now. We don't have any loss from top. It's our highest spot of the day for us right now. So, I mean, that doesn't mean we're finished. We're far from finished, man. It's 10:17. We're super, super excited to keep on trading for you today. But there's the last out there on Hertz. You can see just ahead of 3. We talked about they're having some problems up here at 3,305. So now we'll wait for that. But a beautiful out on our last 20%. You can see in 20, 40, 60, 81. So there it is. We are flat out 20% every single time. Initially, we only take 4 pennies on that first bump. Then we get 5 or 6, 7 or 8. And then that last one's for 10. No, more than 10. One time that's 98 outs in at 85. So nice little 13 penny win. Now we'll wait for 305 to break. I do like this. We do take Neo short. So alert, alert. Short at this bottom of the day. Not a big, huge position, but enough. We'll wait to see if it comes upside here. 27.90, but we'll take some out ahead of 27.50, which here it comes. Short Neo right now, not giving it much room to breathe at all. 27.90 or so on Neo.
I'm going to get to Hertz in just a quick second because I'm going to change my plan just a tiny little bit in a second. But KXIN is making another sort of run towards the high. Just had a hard fail lower off of that 563, which is the current high of the day, but it just failed at 530. Came back right in below this 5 even area. So it looks like there could be an opportunity to short this one. Like I said, if it gets back below that opening range or that pre-market top at 410 and then that 360 mark, could be starting to happen as it's finally running out of a little bit of steam. But if we do make another test through that high, the only trade I'm looking long is going to be the break. That's at 63 currently. What I wanted to say about Hertz might be come and gone, which was sitting here with direct market access, watching that $3 level. Why not do some scalping? If I can get 96, 97, 98, something along that range where I'm essentially risking only a few pennies on the short trade. It's cheap for us to short this name. There is a decent level. Size doesn't matter when it's doing 180 million shares, when there's a billion shares on Friday, but there's plenty of liquidity. So if I can short this one at a good entry price, risking only a few cents, I'm going long on the break anyways, but I'm going to take the shot here shorting just to see if we can get like those 5, 10 cent scalp wins on Hertz in front of that $3 range. I'll take that short out off of 3, but I'll go long if it breaks 302. That's the pre-market high.
I see you there searching life. It's hard to find, and it doesn't matter. You guys don't have to give super chats or not, but it is hard to see. Sometimes this is what it looks like for me, and I can see what you guys are brosif. Hey, what's up, Reddy? Searching life. Clip that 4 on AMC. I'll go over that for sure. I do think it probably gets to there today, AMC through 4. Neo right now, though, we're clipping this up side as well. Downside here for Neo. We're short at 60. My bids is right here at 53. Let's see if we can't scalp a quick. Boom! A quick 7-cent winner again, man. I don't know what to do. Let's do, because we're going to throw to Brendan in a minute. Let's slay that dragon here. Look, bang, another 10-cent win on Neo, man. We just keep on going. 10 cents. Did I say 10? It just broke through 50 right now. A nice little 12-cent scalp here. Moving downside on Neo. Man, do we have the winners today, Brendan. It's been a monster day for us. We just keep on kicking it. And one of our favorite segments, I know Brendan crushed it this morning as well. Join the club. Neo, Brendan, give us a small cap. Here it is, small cap recap. Let's go.
Hey guys, yeah, busy morning, lots to get through here. Let's jump into the first one. We talked about very briefly, if you joined us in the pre-market, up still, but well off the highs, obviously. If you come to the daily chart, definite pivot here around $7 going all the way back out to July. We were around the $7 area. So $6.90 and then $7 the top line. Is what I was kind of looking at this morning. There was a little bit of a seller around $6.90 as well, so give you an opportunity to be short in front of those areas. Yeah, nice push all the way to $6.20 now. I missed that secondary move, but that's okay. Best outs down around the 50s area on that WIMI. Doesn't get much easier than MTP was if you're a fader. In the morning this morning, 275 was holding as pre-market resistance there, or support rather. There was 3 and then 330 above that, the levels I had marked off here. But 275 down to 210 now on this MTP, just straight to the downside, right from the word go. KXIN, just real quick, it did give you a really quick opportunity here at the open if you were short heading into the open, a little bit of a dump. But yeah, straight to the upside through that 275, which was that resistance in the pre-market here. So out the rest of that, pretty much flat for me, a little bit of a loser, but that's okay. KXIN, very, very busy so far this morning, guys. Back over to you.
Thank you, Brendan. New position alert, OSUR. This one from the watch list, but it's a first trade for me today. I'm going to take it when it breaks down that pre-market opening range break. Also, the current low. If you look at that little open, this 1665, I rounded down to 60s. Just took it here at 58. I'll definitely be taking some out in front of 16, and then the low of the actual pre-market low. If it does get down to this 1560 mark, that would be a nice little dollar winner. Be very, very happy if we can take that. I do want to quickly jump back to AMC. Because we talk about things whether they win or lose for us. And AMC, look, it's not going to be a losing trade, but I am going to get jiggled out of this one. And you might have heard me say when I took the breakout, I'm giving it to 40s. And then you would have also heard me move my stop and talk about why. Once again, that's going to be a bad decision. Anytime I take a breakout trade and move my stop, when really never really did too much to scare me out of it, I just saw a buyer on the level 2 play some games, pushing an order and pulling it. That caused me to get out, moving my stop up. AMC continues its rise. Now up 22%, guys. So, you can have the call you want. If you adjust because of the level 2, it can be a blessing in disguise, be a blessing, but it can also be a curse to see some of those levels. If we keep going up here on AMC, just want to go back to some of these support levels. It was like a 380, then also about 395, $4. If we get up there, I think it's an obvious fade play in front of those. We're getting pretty close to that territory. AMC up 23%. I'll take a shot at the first short if we get to that 380 to 395 area off of 4 even, but I wouldn't let it travel past 4 as a short sell trade. Hertz. Yeah, talked about shorting in front of 3, but I wanted to scalp it. That's why I didn't get in for 90. So yes, if you took it right away, you're going to take a 10-cent win. I have my orders here because I wanted to use that size at 3 even. Now it's at 275. We can hold there. I'm going long in front of it for a 270 out and see if you can't get a secondary push. So going to be scalping it to the long side if I can. OS, you are already in the money, but I want to make sure we get at least 25 to 30 cents of profit before I start covering that trade.
Draft, yeah, good little cover up there on some of those stocks. So, yeah, a lot of talk there. Hertz, good stock. I mean, we actually went, and I wish Neil would have gone short there, obviously, where I wish I would have gone short. That's a perfect out, man. We take the high of the day and get out. Right there, 98s. Very lucky to take that trade. So we'll work on that. Just to give you guys an update on Neo, man, out. So 20, 40, 60, we're still holding. 40% of this name to the downside. We do have some bids down in the 30s down here where it crashed to. Our best out though, 41. Now we'll wait. High side, man, right here. We're going to get out if this thing does break back above 60. There it is. So out. So there it is. Boom. So nice little trade there. Obviously, we'll hit the air horn. We won't hit the chicken dinner winner. Should have got them all out, but Neo there. Again, the reads continue on this stock, man. We're pretty good on this one. Neo. Let's go, Bren.
Another alert here, guys, on AMC. Yeah, through the highs, it looks like up to 275 now. Look at the volume that came in there on that break of the high. There's not much now until up here, kind of $3.85, $4 area on this AMC. So I guess they do like theaters in New York State. That was the news, guys.
Oh, that's going to kill me. You get jiggled out of a trade, you're going to be unhappy with it. But this one I am actually more happy about. And I'm going to go back to the CCNC. I'm going to be at least short-term done with this one. The volume is tapered off. Yes, definitely gave away some extra profit by both not taking it out, at that 285, which I could have done, and then you have yourself a nice little 50-cent win at $2 stock. But I wanted to see if there was going to be another parabolic move up. So if you're going to try to hit a home run in the final third of the trade, there's no beating around the bush. In order to do that, you're going to give up some easier profits. And this one I thought might make a secondary push, halt to the upside. Didn't do that. I managed to hold on to some profitability when it comes almost all the way back here. But the volume you can see almost dead. So I think CCNC has done 20 million shares. It's going to be a bit misleading here, so I'm going to walk away from this one until I see it start to pick up just a little bit more. Hertz is getting very, very close to me taking a test here in front of that 270. If it holds, we'll scalp off that level. But wow, if it gets below 270, it might start to turn into a bit of a short trade after a hard turn at 3 even.
Are we getting out 59s here? Bang! Yes. Another 30-cent win right there. Raining the money down, man. We waited all day. Not all day. We just waited about 20 minutes for KXIN to break again. We go long here, 375. Out. Then we go long again, 535. Out here, 559. So we're scalping, man. And again, you got to trade your own books. Judge how many shares you take and how high you can let this thing fly. Boom! It's cowbells right now as KXIN. I gave you this one in the pre-market. It was on our watch list. We talked all about it. And here we go to the high side. Let's take some off before 6. I mean, who knows? This thing is just mooning right now. Maybe we just hold the rest of this thing. I mean, it's going to break through 6, and then who Who knows what that next level is? But KXIN, we go back to the well right now. It stops at 6, but not for long. See ya. No, it stops at... See ya. No, see ya. Almost stops at 6, gets as high as 608 there before stopping. So let's see KXIN waiting for $6 to break there. We'll get an offer out and then play it long again through there. It looks like it wanted to resist it just a couple times. What did I beat?
Hashtag mooning on that one. Tupperware, yeah, Randy liked mooning. Tupperware, guys, 1.7% here, back to the downside. There was a little positive note on this name, got as high as 24.75 there, but right back down. Looks reversed all of this, but decent volume for Tupperware, a name we don't really mention a heck of a lot, all the way back to where it started, guys.
Two things to get to. One, if we get a winner coming out of Brendan, we got to go yeehaw for that one. I talked about OSUR, and actually, no, Brendan mentioned OSUR first in the pre-market. We went over some of these names. You get the rollover at 60. I said I'll wait for it to be 25 cents of the money before I take anything off. We did take the first third off. Next third in front of this opening range bottom here, 15.90 to 16 even, so anywhere in that range once we get in. And then if we can get a dollar win on the last third, I'll be very, very pleased with that. I also mentioned Hertz. We take a shot on a bit of a dip, and if it can start to hold this level, I took the first entry for myself here at 77s. If it holds above 70 to 75, we'll take another shot that it tests back up to 3 even. I'm only going to be adding at better prices. I don't want to chase this one up at 80. I don't want to chase this one up at 85. So if it starts to go here, I won't have the full position on. I try to be a little bit picky with this one. Wasn't the most efficient in terms of getting out on the way up the first time. Certainly could have taken more shares out in the 90s than I did. But here, it's a second push. And I will be shorting in front of 3 if it gets there with a break at 302 if I want to go long. So those are the two names that I'm watching on that regard. But one more here for you before we go to Brendan, just for a quick second. That KXIN. When you come to levels, guys, there's nothing to work off. You have to go so far back that the only way I'm going to jump into a short is a halt down at this point, or getting back to some reasonable prices. So don't even think, well, I'm not even thinking about it. I don't want to tell you guys what to do, but I'm not even thinking about hunting this short until we get a halt at some point up or down to get some more calm price action. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
We were talking about this MoneyGram. I was trying to figure out what day it was that we were talking about MoneyGram, going back to, it was the 14th. Had that big, huge gap to the upside, and we mentioned it on the show a number of times. Yeah, just took out that high there. 8% for MGI. Look at the volume that just came in there through that day high on 450 was that actual level for MoneyGram. They updated their current quarter. They're going to report, guys, coming up end of the month on the 30th for MGI. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe this morning. Exciting over there as well. Valeria.
Hey Brandon, European shares gave up early gains due to COVID and Brexit concerns. Julius Baer is a positive mover following an upbeat third quarter earnings report. Back to you.
Drug makers moving all over the place, even over in Europe. Guys, back over to you.
From Brendan into the gates of hell, because that's where we're putting anybody that was short this KXIN into the gates of hell. Another dollar winner. We continue to punch this stock right in the mouth. Upside right now, man. $5.34. This thing just keeps on ripping up 200% right now. KXIN out of 2/3, letting the last third run, man. I mean, this is what dreams are made of here today. If you're trading this KXIN, man, just blowing upside right there. Out. Like never out for a loss. We'll just continue to hold this one back until where we got in. I'm going to leave this 1/3 on just in case. I mean, Brendan used the terminology mooning. I mean, when you're up 200% from these lows here, man, even more. 280. We closed yesterday 210, 211 on Friday. So up to $6. Wowzers. What a huge move, man. 3x from Friday's close all the way to 6 where we are right now. So big time mover. Look, maybe we didn't get out at the ultimate high. That is completely fine. I'm letting this one go all the way back to the downside right now. And KXIN, man, $6.40. Everything, small caps, large caps, pink sheets, random names like this. We just trading them all. And so far today, guys, we haven't had a misstep. So that's what we're talking about from the free throw line, guys. Hitting like Steph Curry today. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jinx it because certainly anything can happen at any time. And for me, Hertz could be the first loser. And it is consolidating, which is good. And ultimately, I was looking for a consolidation down here on Hertz to dip into some shares. But it already bounced off this and only went about 5 pennies off of my 77 long. So maybe that's going to be the way to have gone to scalp 5, 6, 7 cents. And the volume's certainly there to do that. I was trying to get a 10-cent move here. If it does get back to 75, I'm going to add to my position like was my plan. But the fact that we didn't make a better test here of that top is going to give me at least a little bit of pause as to how deep I want to dive into the Hertz in terms of holding that long anyways. I want to get to DraftKings for a minute here. Continues to still be under pressure. That being said, it is trying to hold a bit of a double bottom here at 42.50. I think you look at that chart of NEO that Sean was pointing out there. Very, very similar look here to short that 42.50 mark on DraftKings. It is putting a bit of bottom. I'm not going to bottom pick this name. Sometimes I would for something like this, but the way that this has been trading, it's just been entirely too weak. So 42.50 for me. I'll be taking the short on it. And this time in Hertz, once it goes past 5 cents of the money, I will scalp some profit off. When it's doing 200 million in volume, how do you not get a little bit more active with your trading? It seems like it's a little crazy not to. So let's get a little more aggressive getting out of Hertz. Let's look for that DraftKings short through 42.50.
Yeah, let's take another look here at Nikola. AMC still testing that $4. We can definitely look at that, guys. Okay, so a week from today. So if you notice on our chat, if you're just joining us for the first time, for $5 a month, you can basically sponsor the show. You'll turn up green here. If anybody wants to, I don't see anybody green right now, but if you are a member, please put it there. When OnlyFans, your wife, oh yeah, no, I don't have an OnlyFans. I don't even know what that is, but I don't think that's very positive. Okay, there it is. Dan Nielsen Photography. There he is. Hi. So you get these little cool little money things. Dan Nielsen's been a guy for a while. And a week today, we're doing our live chat with members. So if there's any questions, hey, Sean, why do you keep killing KXIN? And I'll tell you why. And those are little private things that we're going to be doing very, very soon. A week today after the show. I think it's going to be 1 p.m. Stay tuned. We'll put that a live exclusive link. You can ask myself, Neil, Brendan, anything you want about the stock market, and we'll do our best to get to everybody. But there it is. KXIN, guys. We still do it. Pokeroo. How does Sean keep getting these winners? Who knows? You just go long on KXIN to the moon, guys. It's nothing too crazy about this one. You got to follow the yellow brick road. We give you the road. It is our watch list. Nothing but upside love for that watch list. Had KXIN on it early. We waited for that early break. Bang, out there. Nice little dollar wins. Now we're up to $6. Our first in, guys, $3.70. It's now at $6.90, so that ain't too bad. Let's just keep running KXIN. My next out, maybe on some of these wicks down, 570 maybe. I was going to give it all the way back here, but let's not let this winner turn into a huge loser. So right now, $1 in the money on a couple of great ideas today on KXIN. Let's go.
And let's go Hertz. I mean, it's finally making this bounce that we're looking for. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to go over the plan just one more time here because you do have that pre-market high at 302. You have that top here that got made at basically 298. So this long at 77, I'll be all out of it if we get into the 90s, certainly. But I said I'd scalp it. I'm going to scalp it. That's what I just did here in front of 85. DraftKings just took out the bottom, so we just entered that short for the first time. So shorting some Donkey Kong here as the market, whoa, screaming to the downside. We could go negative on the NASDAQ, 0.1% away from that. I won't be shorting this little Hertz until we get up to that 295 to 297 area, but it looks like that could come into play. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Just looking at Virgin Galactic here, guys. Space popping up on a volume scanner through day highs, I guess it was. Wasn't able to get above this kind of level up here, but coming back in a little bit. For Space, still 2.5% on the day for Space. There was a little note about them increasing their spending on infrastructure over this last quarter. Overall, though, not a heck of a lot in the way of catalyst, but another one that's been very strong lately, guys.
Okay, so we're giving this back down to 575 there to the downside. Yeah, we will look at. What was that name you just gave there, Brendan?
Space.
Space, right. I was going to say, I knew it was a name that we often look at. So let's look at Virgin Galactic for you guys. Just to let you know, KXIN was 575 or so. Is going to be the out on that one. Space, 23 and change. Good little look here for this name. Continues to bounce. 23, a little bit of a hesitant level. Let's just take a look at a high side here for a daily chart. Ooh. Ooh, that's why. 23.50, well above the 50 period. It does bounce back down there. 18, what a great spot to reload. Nothing over here. Not really worried about 27 yet today. What we're doing right now is staring this in the face. I'm going to take this long for sure. 23.40 if it does break. A little bit of ways from there right now, but that is sort of the high of the day. 23.40. Let's take that. I'll take the break. I'll take the break of 23.25. We'll take more shares, 23.40. But good look there, Brendan. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Virgin Galactic, let's take that one. It's actually looking real nice right now.
I'm going to hit this one, and let's see if it actually works. So I finally hit the spice. It's the first time in a week that I hit the spicy meatball and actually get that animation. So thank you guys there. We talked about DraftKings through 42.50. Very similar setup. I know if you saw Sean taking that needle break through the bottom, I just watched a double bottom get made. I see a double bottom get broken in a trending stock. I'm going to scalp it out on the way to 42. That's my lucky number. So hopefully get that target. Did take the first third out at the quarter. The next will be at 42 even. Once it breaks 42, I'll then look to trail it probably back to that quarter. So if DraftKings maintains this momentum, we'll take advantage of it. I can tell you, thankfully, we did the right thing here when it comes to Hertz, and I'm going to go with, I don't know. I'm going to hit Yeehaw because I think it's a fun one. But it looks like scalping out of Hertz is going to be the right call. And ultimately, it's starting to slow down a little bit. It's basically holding these like 5-10 cent ranges over and over again. So I'm going to get out for a 10-cent win and then just start thinking about more aggressive nature on this trade. So all that means is use the same levels, but just up your share size and say if it's going to be 5 cents and 10-cent moves, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, if you want to risk the same amount, then take an appropriate amount of shares. So if you're going to give it 20-cent targets with 10-cent stops before, and now you're cutting that in half and double your share size, something along those lines, whatever works for you. I'm still shorting it in front of 3. I'm still going long on a 302 break, but if I get a 75 test, I'm going to scalp that one in and out for those 5-10-cent winners on Hertz all day long. I still have that OSUR, again, another name from our watch list here. It's still consolidating lower, but it is trying to break back upside. Now that I've taken some profit and it's finding some juice, I'm going to give it right to break even here at 1660. I'll just get out if it breaks back up. This one, it's putting me to sleep a little bit, and it just hasn't had the volume or volatility, so no reason to turn a winning trade into a losing trade. I don't need to do that. The real big misstep for me, and I'll go over it when things slow down, was AMC. Had the breakout low. It was like one trade I was looking at AMC, and it was a 450 break, and I managed to blow it anyways. Not that I'm down on the stock. It's just got to find a way to hold some of these things sometimes. I didn't do it today. That's on me. Brendan is ready at the big screen. It's time for Sector Watch. I see a lot of blue, even though we're heading downside.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500. Yeah, a little deceiving board today. We are negative now on the S&P, so down 0.14%, but still a lot of positivity coming through as far as individual names, mainly in the energy group. So energy stocks, very, very positive here. FTI, NOV, BKR, SLB, to name a few, all 2.5% plus in positive territory. EOG there, one of the few decliners, in FANG down about 1.5%. But energy stocks are positive. Material stocks also in positive territory. There are one or two little decliners, but overall the group is higher. Let's figure out why we're lower. Pharmaceuticals, to name a few. Gilead down 1.5%, or better part of 1.5% there. Biogen, AbbVie, Regeneron, all of the big names to the downside when it comes to pharmaceutical names. Some of the equipment makers, medical equipment makers, positive on the day, helping to offset this, but we are negative so far for healthcare stocks. Real estate, that little group, all negative. Look at the communication services group here. Twitter, we have Fox A, we have Google, we have Disney, Facebook, just to name a few, but all of the big names in the communication services group to the downside as well, as are tech stocks. Back to the downside, ADSK here, the only one really standing out. Some of the semis are positive, as we mentioned, but all of these guys right here offsetting this group and then some. Keys, NTAP, and WDC also still in positive territory, but coming back in as well. Cisco and Nanette there to the downside. Consumer discretionary stocks back to the upside. Travel names having quite the day. Wow. RCL, NCLH, and CCL all about 3% in positive territory. The hotels are here as well. LVS and Hilton, they're both in positive territory. Starbucks, I noticed, did catch an upgrade today. Yeah, Starbucks having a nice day, Valeria, 1% to the upside for Starbucks. L Brands, BBY, Expedia, and GPS as well, to name a few. In this group leading, tech stocks have gone red. FLT, MA, and FIS all in negative territory. ADSK we mentioned, Pacey as well, still higher on the day, but only just. But this group just basically teetering, trying to go negative as well. But overall, down 0.04% for the S&P, guys. Back over to you.
All right. Yeah. Look, a lot of different names moving. The pharmaceutical sector is just one of them. And thanks for bringing that to our attention. We actually looked at Pfizer at the top of the show as it was one of the number one on the market imbalance locator. And you do see what happened to Pfizer. Makes basically new session highs, but not just session highs. It's broken above this 38 and change, right? So now it's trying to take out this 39.50. Pfizer does that. We're at basically, it's not all-time highs, but we're at recent highs, just taking out some of these levels back from May, obviously back here in February before the eventual crash. Pfizer was up here to 40 and change. So right now with BioNTech, they look to be one of the leaders, although I don't trade stock anymore based on vaccines because there's literally 100 different companies all trying to do the same thing. So I don't really see that as anything right now. But that's Pfizer. Check back quickly on NEO. I do see that Microsoft is absolutely tanking as well. NEO back to that short spot. We're 2 for 2 on this one. We didn't hold, so which was good. We kept our profits, which is really nice. 20% out on there, 20% out on there again. So that's basically what we're doing. And look at this. KXIN still making days high. So for me, man, this has been the Superman stock right here today. KXIN long 370, long again 530. Now we're in the money, another $1.50. So I mean, my net is at the highest spot it's been at all today. Thank you, KXIN. You Chinese used car seller, you just keep on making all-time highs. Let's go KXIN.
And let's keep making lows on DraftKings. It just broke that 42. I talked about being my lucky number, so we'll take some out on the break. It's going to be a 50-cent win on that second, third. From here, I said if that happened, I'd move my stop, and it's going to be at break even. So this, once again, is just a matter of it's not that you can't risk losing on the second or the last third of this position, but this is the second push. This is not the first move down. The 44 break was definitely a good one. So I am taking the secondary play, and because of that, I am going to make sure I get this one out at about 44.50 or so, 42.50 or so, so that we manage to hold on for the bigger win. But don't give it all the way back into that opening range, which is a little bit reckless in my opinion. Just got some more shares on Hertz and a dip. If it breaks 270, I'll be out of this retest. Brendan, what's up?
Dragon Victory International, another Chinese-based cloud company. Looks like that is getting a little bit of activity as well. Through $2 here, guys. This thing popped up 2 days ago. I don't think we mentioned it on the show. Might have been late in the day, but LYL, 25%. This thing has an $18 million market cap, guys, so tread lightly, but LYL moving.
All right, another one of these Chinese names just going absolutely insane. Like I said, I'm going to hold this one, man. Still backside. 580. We'll just see if it keeps on running. We don't have many shares. We did get out of 2/3 there. So no matter what, this is a nice winner as KXIN just continues to make dreams happen and burn those that are on the short side. So we'll see how much longer that can go up for. Look, coming up, guys, at 11:45, we're really super happy to continue this series with you. Quest Cap. I mean, good. Doug Somerville, Lawrence Steinman coming through, CEO. And then, immunologist and neurologist from the University of Stanford, all talking everything COVID prevention. They have a few new ideas there. Just recently uplisted to the NEO exchange, so congratulations to those guys coming. It's a good opportunity to do a little bit of work on who they are. QSC is the symbol. We can actually call it up here. QSC over on Toronto. Not doing much volume. 100,000 shares isn't bad. Lots of block prints. They just get uplisted, guys. So look at this from the CSC. Here's the 1 day, not doing anything. So the chart is irrelevant, but it's QSC over on the TSX, on the NEO exchange, a great opportunity, guys, to find out a little bit more about this starting company. An easy way to get in on the ground level if you do like what they're talking about. But that's QSC. One name, Neil, was Starbucks I wanted to get involved with. I think Starbucks, come on, it's SBUX. Starbucks has a great potential, man. There goes KXIN again, by the way. Starbucks has great potential. I believe China is rebounding probably better than any country, just statistically through a lot of this. So here's Starbucks, no surprise there, from 50 to 89. Looks like we're getting ready to take out this February number of 94. You want a long-term investment. If Starbucks drops down anywhere to this, mid 80s, I think that's a great call right now for Starbucks. Even start building your position right now, SBUX, guys.
You actually read my mind, Sean, because there was a level that I was looking at on Starbucks previously on the show, and you look at the top today, and it's at 89.60, and wow, that even gives you a day trade, a swing trade, and an investment all at once. Maybe at that price, or maybe you pull back, you like it a little bit better. I did get immediately out of that hurt, so I get back in at 76, and I get out when it breaks 70. So that was a short-lived reload trade for me. It's going to have to hold above that 75 or VWAP for me to get back into it, at least aggressively anyways. I want to just quickly, the market's heading to the downside here, but I want to take us back to Zoom. Again, I took one accidental trade here. If you get in accidentally, just get out right away, guys. I didn't mean to go short. This is where my stop was on my long trade. So Zoom has been a good stock, but you're looking at a bit of a downward trend here, and I'm watching this 562.50 bottom. This trade has worked on Neo. The trade is actually working right now on DraftKings. The only difference here would be you immediately run into previous close, only $3 lower. So I don't like that for a breakdown trade because you're running right into what could be a level of sideways action on Zoom. That's why I'm going to stay away from that 562 short, even though it kind of looks like the similar one that just worked for me in DraftKings and is still working in DraftKings, only actually about 60 cents in the money right now. I like your Starbucks, Sean. I want to quickly jump to Snapchat, however. Another stock that's going to be reporting this week and starting to round into its bottom. If it can hold off this 28.25 and we get any sideways action back above 11.80 on the NQ, I'd like this bit of a dip buy opportunity in Snapchat, but I need to see it test the low. I'd rather it test the low. I'd rather it bounce off that. And then if the market gets going, this is one that I want to see if I can't pick up. That's the conditions that I'll get in. Hertz, I'm not going short yet. I've sort of held to the fact that I want to see a test below 250, but it's starting to change my mind if it holds below 275 for longer than this.
Okay, I wanted to look at, this tech is getting wrecked, tech wreck right now. Alibaba, good trade here on Alibaba. Again, another positive stock for us. My largest stock today, of course, is Nikola, which I'm really mostly proud of because this was a keystroke error. We gave this one to you right off the open, man, 2020. And someone did ask me a question here on Twitter. How do we take these trades so fast? Most of these trades, when I know the level and I give this level out to you, I just put the stop order in so that when it does trigger 2020, that it instantly puts me into the trade. So I don't trigger in, I trigger in and I don't trigger out. I just manually take all these stocks out, and holy crap, Brendan, KXIN, Moon City up to $7, and your boy feels like we're at a carnival today with this name. We're long at 530, like a $2 win coming up here on KXIN to already follow our 370 log. Wowzers, Brendan.
Great move on KXIN. No stopping that one whatsoever. CCNC, the other one we were talking about, on the other hand, breaking downside here, or testing lower prices, guys. We were talking about this kind of support area, 220, starting to go. Possibly they were just pushing it through 220. So watch the CCNC as well.
I had 215 for that one. So, anytime I have a different price I'm looking for the bottom, I'm sort of going to take a secondary look for it here. And it had a couple of halts this morning, but I do look at this pre-market level, and it is about 220. I think that's what I was looking at first time, and I was looking off this little wick here. There's dark pool prints that come through, so, always go back and double check, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Brendan, because I was working off of what I think is a bad level of 215. 220 certainly looks better to me because I don't want to go off of a dark print or a block print. That's not going to be a significant price level. I want actual trading, guys. We've keyed in on a lot of things today, and we've talked about this for you guys, but I don't want you guys to forget. On Friday, we got Mr. Wonderful himself, Kevin O'Leary, coming through. That's going to be exciting, so make sure you dial that one up. Have that on your radar. Put it in your calendar. Do whatever you have to do. He's been through before. We had a great time. He's going to come back. Maybe he'll talk a little bit about MindMed, which that stock's been doing actually pretty well, guys. And last time we talked about it, it was in the 50s, and I know it's over $1 now. So should be very, very exciting, guys, coming through on Friday. I saw that siren alert. That means new position, I'm assuming.
No, that is what you should assume. That normally is right. But right now, I'm just like over the moon right now with KXIN. Just takes out 7 there, and that's what we hit that for. Just alert. The reason why I did hit it, though, Neil's right. I like to give you guys a little bit of information. I'm going to give this one back to 620 rate backside right now. My out used to be down here 530, but we're just going to keep seeing if this one can rip. It would normally be about 640. I'm just going to give it a little bit lower. So it is a new piece of information. It's an adjustment to our stop. So we're just huge in the money right now. KXIN just continues to make the dreams happen. Hopefully you're in on that one. Apple, oh no, it wasn't Apple, it was AMD, what I wanted to check here. It's too bad because we did talk about AMD falling down here off the open and breaking through this $84. That would have been such a great little trade. 84 upside, 84 back downside. And then not only that, but it holds VWAP. So I think that's very, very important information right there to notice. And then look what we're doing right now. You're going to break above 83. Let's go long for sure. If the NASDAQ can hold this, we're going to go hella long right now on AMD, down 0.41%. I still don't know what the problem is with the NASDAQ today, but it is looking negative. I do like what Neil did there, obviously, on DraftKings, playing the momentum to the downside. I kind of get a feeling that this is something here on AMD that can be done as well. Ooh, this bottom, 82.50. I like what I see here. 82.50 coming into play on last Thursday was the bottom there. So, ooh, 82.50, I likey. Let's look for a short through 82.50 or a long, a little bait. We'll test the long here back to 83, but we're not going to give it much.
Not to interrupt, but obviously KXIN is still moving. I actually think it might halt to the upside at some point here, so I just want to warn anybody, it looks like it was a good shot. Sorry, I have LYL up here, but I'm watching on another chart over on my side. But it looks like it could be another parabolic move up. If it breaks 750 and goes nuts, then you don't want to be holding through a halt. Just watch out for that one. LYL, which Brennan brought to our attention, and the volume is still trying to hold up here, but it is also moving still to that upside, only it actually has some levels to work off of here. So I am going to be watching both 240 and 250 here. If it fails at the first one, I'm going to take a shot shorting LYL. I'm not touching, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it 3 times. I'm not looking to touch KXIN until it starts halting. You get good price discovery when these actual halts happen. I'm not sure why it hasn't halted yet, but it looks like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this is going to $8 now. I actually thought it was going to halt in this move. It hasn't happened yet, but KXIN, I'm throwing the hands up. It keeps on going here, guys.
Bang, we washing this. Wow, KXIN, guys, to the moon. The money just falls down. All you literally had to do was take the long at any point where I was in there. Beautiful long breaking that top. Then we wait really patiently. It doesn't even break this top, man. That's where we get out. Then we go long, long, long. I put this all up on Twitter. You guys want to follow all of these ins, all of us on Twitter as well. KXIN mooning right now. Beautiful move to the high side here. KXIN might have just got it out of it right there. We're going to get out if it breaks this. 730 to the downside. KXIN, 730. Let's get out of that. If it does break, we're still in this one. Here it comes crashing to the downside. I don't want to get out, but we got to stay disciplined and take some profit, guys. $7.30 KXIN. Your boy going to take it out right there. But wow, guys, what a day this has been, man. Money talks, and so does the account that you're staring at right here. Let's go back over to Brendan right now. Give us money talks on the big board. Hopefully, US dollar going up.
Yeah, guys, let's jump into currency land here, and we'll have a look at what is happening so far with all of the FX world. Yeah, a little bit of U.S. dollar weakness, actually, to start the week. So a lot of these in positive territory, including the euro leading the way up here, 0.5% to the upside, 117.75 for the euro Canadian dollar. Also back to the upside, back above 76 there for the Canadian dollar. British pound, the leader here, 130 once again. We were talking about this back on Friday. There's continued discussions between the rest of Europe and the UK when it comes to finalizing some of those Brexit negotiations. So we're moving back towards the upside. 130.5, 130.75, kind of the area that needs to clear if it's going to continue. But having quite the day, 0.75% there for the British pound. Swiss franc is lower, 0.5%. There was some GDP data out through that region. Japanese yen to the upside just went positive. In fact, that was also negative for the Japanese yen. Australia, New Zealand, both positive on the day. Look at cryptos. Yeah, back to the upside here for cryptos. 3% for Bitcoin, 3.5% for Ethereum. It's been a trend. Ethereum leading the way. Bigger moves anyways than Bitcoin lately. Back over to you guys.
Thank you there, Brendan. And through 8, no halt. Through 9, and still no halt to the upside. Look, volume is continuing to pick up. If you look at this on KXIN here, it is not slowing down whatsoever. Like I said, I'm looking for that halt to come in, and when it does, I'm going to look for an opportunity to jump into a short trade. Not going to touch it until it does that, but it's still going parabolic here. $10 approaching rather rapidly, and it's starting to confound me how a volatility halt has not happened on KXIN. Thank you for this. Thank you for that super chat there, Edwin. There's KXIN for you. Look, Netflix earnings is on Wednesday, or are on Wednesday. Hey, they just got away with a price increase here in Canada. And to tell you how much I'm committed to Netflix, I have no idea how big the price increase was. I just know that I'm going to be paying it. Now, obviously, they did a really good job. They weren't affected by as much as other production companies when it comes to COVID and shutdown. They had so much already on the go, and they had so much in the can already. So content definitely looking good for them. Here's a concern, starting to sell off and round into some resistance. I'd love for an opportunity if this might be a sell the event kind of situation here for Netflix, especially because you might see their subscribers be underwhelming. A lot of people, when COVID started, they picked it up. That we're going to maybe later on in the year, we're going to do at some point in the future. So there was anticipation that it could slow down. So if that happened, not the end of the world. I like 500 if it comes down in there for a bit of a dip buy, and then you pick up some more at 460. It might be one of those situations where you're getting in after earnings here, and there is a bit of a fall down into it. So let's watch Netflix here. If you get to 500 at any point in the next couple of days, I think that's going to be a nice bounce point. The market, sliding downside, but Netflix basically holding flat on the day is a bit of a bull sign, but not a crazy one. I want to quickly jump back over to Hertz because I was very, very briefly thinking about shorting this one if we hold below that 275. I'm not quite there yet, and the reason is just go back out to what happened in the afternoon. I apologize for that little gap in my charts, but this was Friday afternoon. You look at this 240, 250, and every single time we're below that 75, 85 to 75, there was these hard floors a little bit lower where there was all kinds of buying on ridiculous volume. So I don't think Hertz is necessarily done in terms of being a bit of a buy or squeeze until you get below that 250. And again, we had to ramp up off that level in the morning. That's why I don't like aggressively shorting this one off of that 75 mark. Look, I'm not going to say the top has been put in on KXIN. What I can say is the first actual legitimate retracement was off $10, and it's $1.50 to $2 now, all without a single halt. How that happens is beyond me. This is a 1-minute chart. We have a parabolic move up in 2 minutes from 8 to 10, and then it comes right back up in 1 minute. I think this 10 level is going to be the one that we can now work off of. So if it breaks 10, fair enough. You'll probably see me in my first losing trade of the day because I'm going to use this one to take any kind of a consolidation below 9 for an opportunity to short this name. Again, I would have preferred it off a halt, so we'll have to trade this rather small, relatively speaking, because price discovery is much, much better on these names after you get a halt and 5 minutes for people to consider what they want to do next. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Here we go again. Kodak, guys, 6%, 6.5%, just breaking through 950 here on Kodak. Volume coming in a big way. Just going to double check on KODK, guys.
I'm going to assume on nothing.
Yeah. Here comes, I assume on nothing as well. I mean, all these stocks ripping. I know Neil just talked about KXIN. Your boy's still in this one, and we're going to wait, man. I don't think the squeeze is over, but who knows? We have no idea where this thing's going. We'll wait. KXIN, wowzers. Okay, good trade there. What I want to talk, I just ran into my good friend Chow, recently good friend here working on some algorithmic stuff. So I'm going to try, we talked about this a little bit on Friday after the show. I'm going to try to think of some cool segments where we could talk maybe about algos, program trading, and whatnot. We're going to get our friend Chow in very soon to talk about that, hopefully with us in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that as we continue to rack our brains about what we got to do here to make this show bigger and better. And I think it's already pretty big and bad, as you can see right now. If this breaks back down below here now, 780, we're going to get out. I mean, I'm in a $4 winner on this name. So we're in the money right now, 100% on this. We were initially long 360. Then we take the long again at 529. And you can see the kind of stuff that we're running right now. 775 to the downside, $1 from here. And your boy will get out of this one. KXIN, Neil. Just keeps on going, man. Wowzers.
Yeah, I'm not going to step in front of the train for the first time. I should have hit it, but this is going to be one of those like Superman type plays that you try to take a shot at. And again, look, you have to have an idea what you want to do for shorting this one. I've already told you without the halt, you can't be as aggressive here, but I just took a first stab in front of 9. I won't take any more shares unless I get something in the 30s or 40s off of 950. Nothing goes past 10. Actually, I wouldn't even want to hold most of this past that 950 mark, but if it starts to roll over, it was the first actual sell action that came in that was somewhat significant. It was on volume. It was $1.50 to $2 to the downside. So, you know, it's not a halt, but it's the closest thing to it. So I'm taking my first crack at this. I'll take this out. If I don't get any more shares, I kind of have to look at this dollar win and be happy with it. But I would have liked to get more. And like I said, I wanted it at 9.25. Might not happen. I'm already in money about 50 cents or so on this short. Volatile name here, guys. This is a pure scalp and day trade at this point. You got to be in and out. Got to have some levels. But we got to go to Valeria at the big screen for the European update.
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Europe is pretty choppy today as COVID and Brexit concerns keep waiting on the market. Britain is down 0.37%. Germany is down 0.28%. Spain is up 0.06%. And France is up 0.26%. Yogurt producer Danone is a little bit up today as the train started its forecast for 2020. That's all with the Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
That's all for Europe, you say. KXN still making moves. I know Neil's short, I'm long. Completely different profiles here for this trade. So it doesn't mean that we both don't, have just opposite opinions of the stock. My shutdown's going to not shutdown. My get out spot here. 775. I know Neil's looking for $1 either way. So multiple ways to skin a cat. I've been in this multiple times, and it's now my number one stock. Although you'd think after all this, it would be crushing Nikola, but no, Nikola still, even if I get out right now, still my number one stock. We really, really loved this trade breaking through 220. So that was a real nice trade for us back there on AMD. What I want to look at right now is AMD. And look at this, guys. It does break through 83. We did talk about taking the long through 83. It goes as high as 83.32. I don't know if that was true or not. I really love to short right in here, man, 83.20. So I think we're going to take the short here on AMD and then see what happens out at 83.20. Okay, so I like this trade for sure. Let's go short right now and then protect it up to 83.20. So I will go short on AMD, see if the market wants to fall back down just a little bit here.
Man, this thing is strong. And by this thing, I mean, look, if you don't know that I'm talking about KXIN, if I say, man, this thing is strong, then I don't know what market you've been watching here. So I don't think I'm going to get any shares above 9. So I'm going to change the profile of the trade a little bit here. Maybe not even give it too far past 9, even maybe that 935 area that it just wicked out, which means my average price will be in the high 80s. So I'm risking 50 cents in slippage. First target now changes to about that 50-cent mark, and then still the dollar win on the rest. So quick change just because I think it's stronger than it's kind of counterintuitive here that it's stronger than I'm anticipating. So I actually want to short it at a lower price, but that's because I want to give it a tighter stop. And if it breaks that high, I want to have some room to think about where I want to go long without still panicking or getting that little FOMO action. So I'm all in here. 92 is my average price. I risk 50 cents plus slippage, but wowzers. When you get a move like that down and some consolidation, what I'm not seeing, is you go to level 2, what I'm not seeing is when a little bid gets taken out, a vacuum come in. Instead, when a tiny bidder gets taken out, it just fills right back up and you see some other bids jump back in rather aggressively. That tells you there's still some heavy buy action here. So this battle has to be waged. It has to be won. Hopefully by some pulling of some bids, which will be the first time. This is the first time it's happening here. If I can get that 50-cent win on the first third, I'll go ahead and do it. We do it right there, so we'll line it up and knock it out. But had to adjust the plan of action on KXIN because it was looking a little bit strong. If it gets down to 8 even, I'll be very happy to take this win of maybe even shy of $1, given what I've seen here. That 780 that Sean said, that is definitely going to be what I think could be that next support level because if you look at almost to the penny, that's where that pullback was. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Just an update on Kodak real quick, guys. Apparently the chairman of Kodak going to be on a live stream with the Wall Street Journal coming up this afternoon. So might be the reason. Looks like volume already kind of dying back down again, but nice little pop there for Kodak shares.
Whoa.
All right.
Look at me saying, like, you guys heard me say it. I was like, yeah, I bet you that's on absolutely nothing. So fail. Apparently there is something going on with Kodak. And I just, look, I've seen this, and I think it's maybe 3 times. We saw it last week, and I could be wrong about this, where there were multiple squeezes happening, like with Hertz or something else, and then Kodak would squeeze to the upside, almost as if it's like, you got to go. You can't go without me. I have to go to the upside too, and then it would come right back in minutes. So here comes that KXIN. My next target has been hit, so we do take an 80-cent win on that one. 780, Sean, right here and right at support. If it breaks through, that's going to be great. You're going to see me try and get out here. Give me 750s. Gimme, always gets. I don't know my manners yet. We'll slap shot action for that one. Why I'll hit a hockey key, I have no idea. The season is over, and the Leafs are terrible. But we're going to get over $1 winner on the last third of this position. I had to change the profile of this trade. If I had said to myself, it's not looking relatively strong, I want to hold on and wait for those 930s for a short, probably the only way I'm getting that entry point is if it's basically blowing my head off. So I made the adjustment saying if it goes any higher from here, I don't want any piece of it. So I got to take the short on right at this price at 9 even. It does give me the pullback. It's been too strong to fight this one all the way back to 6. I'm just not going to do it. So it's a nice trade short. I waited for my shot. I would have loved it had we actually had a halt. I think usually you get better entry points post-halt. For some reason, KXIN does not seem to want to halt. It moves $2 at a time, which is like 20%, and comes right back in a minute, and it does not halt. That's okay. We get the win anyways.
Yeah, KXN, crazy stock. We're out there, and like I said, we went the opposite ways, and it breaks through. So we got out. I don't know what's going to happen again, 770, but that's not a bad spot for us to get out of our 520 long. So yeah, you could see there big time push off of 10. I wasn't here. We went and refreshed our coffee. That was good the first time. So I wish, but it cost me a little bit of money because I don't know if I would have got out at 10 either, but a 9 probably a good out. Here it comes, ripping back to the upside. We're going to go long at 10 again, man. If that breaks again, why not? Let's just keep that party going on KXIN to see what's up with that. NEO again, right at VWAP, a very interesting story there as well. AMD, funny because we get out and then we get out again. So we take that out for at 83 even, and then we get out on that 83.20 break. So look where our price is, 83.15 or so. So it's just bouncing around here. I really wish that AMD was going to make a decent move one way or the other. I do like this thing again now that we make the moves up above 83.40. So that's kind of this area. If we can break here, 83.40, we'll take a little bit of a long on NEO. So that has to, or NEO on AMD, that has to get to 83.40 before we get interested in this name. That's AMD. But other than that, Apple, again, right now, it's just the NASDAQ's kind of just cruising. Might not be the greatest spot to get in right here, but look, everything's at VWAP. Apple, Microsoft, AMD, so a lot of good looks happening here. We could look at DraftKings. And then one thing I did, and I actually just canceled my stop orders before I left because I didn't want to see Space take out the top, but man, we're really close to that again. 23.40, I like the long on Space, 23.40, guys.
I'm just going to refresh one of my charts here. A bit broken, but I can show you the 1 minute on AMC. I'm gonna jump in front of another moving train here. It's not quite the freight train the KXIN is. And by the way, I'm out of that short, and I'm not looking to get back in until it settles down some more. It's looking very, very strong, and I think that we'll take the one shot and be done. But if it gets up to 10 again, I'm not going to short in front of that level. I think Sean has it right that it could be a breakout there. And here's the thing. It's not that I don't go long those. I just know that I have a higher percentage win when I patiently wait for the short on those than when I chase the long. So you either get that long break where Sean had it, in my opinion anyways, or you don't, or you sort of bugger off, to use a better term here, until you find a nice level. I think that 780 pullback could have been one if you really, really liked it. I'm going to look for AMC off the 75 to 80 area. It's a 390 top. You can give it to 4 even. I'm actually going to give it to 390, too strong not to give it the tighter stop here. But AMC, 23%. I mean, I don't know. That's a little strong. That's a little much for me. If I don't take this trade, I can't live with myself. I've seen this work too many times here. So going to start working a position here, 75 to 80 in AMC short side off high of the day. Brendan, what's up, buddy? I
mentioned this one earlier, guys. BIMI kind of struggling here at this prior little shelf, 340. Was resistance after the move up in the pre-market this morning. Yeah, it looks like it's going to fail here, maybe at 340, but BIMI starting to get some volume once again, guys.
BIMI, okay, good name there. we'll look at that. That's been a Chinese name, I believe, that we've traded a couple times, and Brendan keeps coming with the news. So 850, if you want to take that long, that's a decent spot as well on KXIN. We're not going to throw anything at this thing, though, until it breaks through 10. But if you're feeling like this is going to ramp up again, blessings forward on 850. It's stopped and gone there a couple times, so you can watch out for that. I'm not on that 850, so I'm waiting for 10. Again, I just think every single time I've waited for these crazy blow off the tops, it's happened. Obviously, I don't think this is going to be a good long-term investment, but for today, we'll wait to see. If you had it back here, fine, but right now, no. What is Hertz doing? 270 still?
Oh, it's just, I don't know. It's a frustrating stock, man. If you're scalping 5 cents, which we have direct market access, guys, so we could be doing this, but when you get KXIN moving the way it is, I'd rather be looking for shots at that than taking 5 pennies on Hertz. But Brendan just mentioned this BIMI, so I want to quickly say here, rolling over 350 VWAP, it had some levels here at 375 off the open. I want to get into this one. If it can hold below that 350 mark, it's a short for me, but that could be a bit of a breakout long at that price. Volume has to, look, if it breaks that, I need to see volume picking up going into lunchtime for breakout longs on a stock which has already shown that it wants to retrace, which BIMI has. But for now, I will take a quick shot here if I can get something in the 30s, and I've done it again where I'm yapping instead of taking that short. But it's in threat at 350. It's a reverse at 350 only if the volume keeps up, which so far it has.
All right, there it is again, guys. Oh, you know what? We missed a few people, but thank you, Cameron, for the $50. Again, bang. There it is. You like, oh, you know what? We haven't even hit that yet, so I'm going to hit it for you. It's been a bunch of bangers today. Thank you so much for that. Cameron, you continue to be the man. Also, Alex Puig, I saw you up here if I can. There it is right there as well. This is Bang, $10. Not sure who that's from. Maybe it's from Bang, so that's a good one. And then Alex Puig there. Hit your goals. So there we go. Everyone loving the bangers today. Thank you so much again, guys. We'll have a massive pullback on NEO. I believe that's probably right, guys. No need to lose real money. Train first. I agree. Joseph Mendoza. And then whatever else you guys are talking about there, guys. We're using the Day Trade the World platform, which is why if you did have any questions, how are we able to get KIXN? How do we have such lightning fast executions? It's Day Trade the World. The platform is fantastic. Direct market access to over 63 markets worldwide. So if you are interested in that, check out daytradetheworld.com. NEO's getting NEO. AMD getting really close here. I do like this trade to go long very, very soon. And then using like 83.20 or so as our out, this little downside move. So we'll take a little baby long. And again, it's 11:13. We don't go crazy right now at this time of day. It's better off just to wait for your spots, pick your best spots, and don't use a lot of shares, man. I'm at the highest spot I've been at today, 0 LFT. You'll hear me talk about that. Loss from top, I don't have any. So right now it's been a good day so far. Let's just keep it that way.
I should mention this because you'll hear that term around a loss from top. At a day trading firm like Day Trade the World, there's lots of ways that risk is managed. One of them is a daily loss limit. And it's not just if you go negative on the session, but there's also a loss from top, which is if you get it's like whatever your loss limit is, it's 1.6 times that. And if you cross that from your highest point, you can get shut down for the day for throwing away too much of your profits. But I actually like that as a feature. My hands were like this on my head a second ago. And it's not just AMC. Look, I'm going to win on OSUR and another name from the watch list. What ends up happening here is I take the breakdown trade, it gives me my first target, it goes sideways, it comes back, and I move my stop from willing to give it back into this range here, like 1680 to 1685 into 1690, and just to give it 25 cents or so to try and make the bigger win. I tighten the stop up when I hit a profit target, and this is going to happen to you. If you have a plan of action, which is as it goes down, tighten your stop, you're going to get wicked out of this one. And I think the problem here, and I kind of immediately knew this the second I got out, when it's a thinly traded stock, and this one, a second ago, 3 cent spread, 5 cent spread, earlier on was certainly more than that. I actually didn't want to touch it in the pre-market because the volume was so low. In a stock like that, having a stop right at a break even, which was your entry, doesn't really make a lot of sense. You usually want to give it a little bit more room because you're anticipating that it might need to go like 10, 15 cents before you even know that level's been broken. So a bit of a correction I need to make here. I guess I'm too caught up trading things like Hertz where you throw a stop in and it's like 1 cent away, no problems whatsoever, so much liquidity. On an OSUR, you got to switch the game up a little bit here, and I would have had this hold if I'd opened things up knowing it's a more volatile stock, a little bit more of a spread here that I should have taken advantage of.
I see the chat. Netflix is going, and I actually really do like Netflix right here. So we do have AMD long at 38, ho-hum, 3 or 4 pennies in the money, but we're not going to worry about that one. Just to give you an outside look on AMD before we go over to Netflix, we will take this out. Unfortunately, I don't want to give stocks too much room right now because, again, one little positive or negative story comes out and then your day right there gonzos. So you got to watch out for this one. 83.20 to the downside. We'll wait on that. Hopefully be able to take some profits there as we go. But that is AMD 83.20. We're looking at that. Netflix to the high side was another good look, I thought anyways. Breaking through VWAP right there. It's getting real close to doing that. I would rather wait for 532. So we're going to go long if Netflix cracks through 532. I think another great opportunity to hammer that one and capture a win on Netflix through 532. We've gone through a lot of this garbage. It just does hit that view up and now it's coming back down. I mean, look at this. Here we go. The NASDAQ now fading through. This is what I mean. You don't want to make a call and then have one little move down on the NASDAQ wind up crushing you. So it's less shares right now and less risk on for me on all of these positions. We've already had such a great morning. And again, guys, thanks for joining us. It's been a fun one today. We do have a big interview coming up with Quest Capital at 11:45. That should be a lot of fun as well. So QSC on the NEO exchange, pardon me.
Yeah, a good one there. And it's a good idea to start thinking about not just sort of lowering share size, but to only taking those setups that you really like at this time of day. I'm going to go back to a level that was a good one before, and that's going to be Nikola. It was a 2020 break. I made that mistake twice in one day. And then we had this bounce here on the way back up, on the way back down, sorry, at 2030. I'll like that for a break downside. I think, you could use 2020 here, but I'm just gonna jump into a retracement short. Nikola, of course, it's been beaten up in the past. I'm not gonna go long. We already had the long break one time. It's just a momentum short if it takes out 2030. Scalp it into 20 even. I'm not gonna try to be a hero trade. If it breaks 20, maybe hang on to a small piece of it. But at this time of day, I just think there might be some stops down around that 2030 area. And if I can take advantage of them by taking some short, hopefully like a 25 entry, something along those lines, I'll get in and out very, very quickly. Hertz is approaching 250, so it will be decision time when we get to that price. If we go sideways, could be some support. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another little Chinese name, a little late to the party today, but UXIN, 19.5%. This is just since about 11 o'clock, so yeah, 20 minutes. This thing is starting to catch a little bit of a bid here. You can see the volume coming in for UXIN. No news that I see on this one, guys.
Okay, AMD trying here, guys, coming back from the dead on this little bit of a NASDAQ bump, but I'm just noticing it's not going. Like, that should have gone there. It made a move down and then took off to the upside. So we either A, going to have to wait for this to go, or B, tighten up our stop, which we've already done. So I don't know why that stopped there at 45, 46. AMD not very strong today, guys, at all. It should have gone on that move up. So that's one name that right now I'm not in love with this name at all, AMD. Like, look at Microsoft there, makes that bottom. Like, you get nervous, then it rips up 60 cents. So, I like Microsoft a little more, but I don't like a lot of these NASDAQ names. The NASDAQ bumped up there and it didn't go. Netflix looks like might be one of the only ones. Like, Netflix down there at 530 on that move, bumps up about $1.70. So potential there for NASDAQ love down, up through 532. So I still like that trade. Let's see if we get it. But right now that's NASDAQ upside through 532 and we like it.
Yeah, I just want to quickly, that UXIN that Brendan mentioned, that's piquing my interest. I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart for me here, just to show you what my thought process is. I mean, we have already broken through, like what the previous top was, like a 122 area, but we haven't definitively gone through it. I mean, 125 is still holding. We get back below, I think that's where you're looking short, but if the volume can maintain, I'm going to be breaking out to the long side if it takes out that high. Speaking of breaking out, yeah, remember when I was like, don't hunt that short on KXIN, get in, get out, and stay away from it? There it goes through 10. Bye-bye. Still hasn't halted, even though it just made a $3 move to the upside. And in the last 3 minutes, another $2 mover. Look, it's not stopping. If it finally gets a halt, I'm going to hunt for another short, but this is ridiculous, guys. Another parabolic move up, and you cannot halt the stock. You cannot stop it. The long just keeps on going.
Money, 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 money. There we go, guys. The money just keeps on flying in here on KXIN. Long at 10, 10:05. out at 1070. So right there, a beautiful trade. And now we run it to the other side. We got out of half up there, man, for that 70-cent win. Now we'll just keep on running this thing. And here we go again, feeling pretty special here today on this KXIN. 1, 2, 3 for 3, and it just keeps on moving. $11. Who knows, man? Let's get out if this thing breaks back above 10, back below 1050. Capture the 50 cents, and boom! There it goes to the high side again. Goes KXIN. We just continue to cash it in. It's backflips territory here. I put on Twitter early. I said KXIN, 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 and with a little moon, and there we go. 11.50 today, guys. Another $1.50 winner right there. We stay away from the short. Good move on the short. I mean, there's no doubt it did pull back, but you got to stay patient with it. 10.06 to the upside. Bang. We basically get out at the worst possible spot, but that's okay because it is fruit salad time, guys. Get your fruit salads out. Today's fruit salad brought to you by Green Kiwi. Green Kiwi was its friend its brother last week with yellow kiwi. Today we're back with green kiwi, and wow, KXIN, man, just keeps on making that move to the high side. What a great trade today. I hope you're on it with us, guys. KXIN. Kaboom. Hot dogs for you, hot dogs for me, hot dogs for KXIN long holders. What's up, B?
Give you another one. Yeah, that's officially now all-time highs. Not that it matters, but all-time highs for KXIN. LQDA, another one starting to go here through 350 on decent volume. I was just checking if this is another Chinese-based company. I don't think it is. Pharmaceutical name, though. LQDA just popping up, guys.
There's another one. And a keynote there, Brendan, with, through the all-time high on KXI. And you have to go way back for that one. Entirely too far. I'm not touching, like I said, not touching it until you get some halts to the upside. Well, hopefully it'll halt and then come back down. But Nikola did make that little break. We talked about 2020. I was looking at this level here. This is just like that at 10 o'clock when we had a bit of a pullback into 2030. I got short 27. I'll scalp it off in front of that 2020 area, 20 even area. And if it does break, I'll only have a third of the position still on. So Nikola, it was a great long off of here. And now I'm going to play with the market direction and be a shorter in Nikola. I think it's a good one. You can get to like 2050 or so. KXIN is just absolutely nonsense. I keep looking back at it. It's like, I want to make sure I keep it up on a level 2. And we have multiple screens here, so you don't see it on my main, but it's never it's always been on my side. MTP, which was a great short. A bit of a pullback here, and I'm going to show you why I like this one possibly here again. It bounces off at 210, $2 with previous close. I got trailed out of my 270 short right here at 225, so it was a good one all morning. But if 250 looks like it held pretty nicely here, if it consolidates below that, didn't even come close to VWAP, so the weakness is still on in MTP. A test at that $2 still could be in play. So I might short this one again if I get like a 240 to 245 using 250 as an out. And then my target would be down around that $2 closing price from Friday.
Okay, we're just looking here to see what else we can do with this market as the market comes fading back down. We were so excited there during the KXIN that our Alibaba, I can't even remember the names. AMD gets out to the downside. So we do fall in the hole on AMD, but it really irrelevant. I didn't even notice it because of the damage that we were doing on KXIN. But there it is. We did talk about AMD and what we were nervous about there. So feeling pretty good about it. The loss on AMD is one, so we do bring that up, but it's such a minor one that it doesn't matter what happens right now to AMD, but we are flat. I really think AMD, man, look at the NASDAQ now fading back through. So I think AMD still has some of these low of the day targets right on it for sure. But, we'll wait on that as the NASDAQ now falling right back in. Our out should be about here soon, 1050 break. I'm actually looking to get out maybe at $11 right now on KXIN, but it just keeps on mooning to the high side, man. We're already in the money now at $1.50. Let's see how much more we can get on KXIN. I don't even have a target to get out, guys.
We haven't gotten into this at all, I think, today. And they're going to pull up in Toronto here, ACB. Making a strong push to the upside. It is up 7%. Usually the name that might be picking on a little bit. And I'll show you why in the daily chart. But rounding into some resistance levels, just going back into Friday's action. Here's that little top on ACB. It's over in Toronto, of course. So watch out for this like 575 area. The only issue here, and the reason why I prefer the short, is you have all kinds of chop, previous support at 590, and then chop to 6 to 610. So I'd look at that high, like a 575 in Toronto. That's Friday's high. This is the Toronto, Canadian prices. Of course, it's easier for us. We actually have locates always in Toronto on this name, whereas it's hit or miss in New York. So I'll tend to short it in Toronto and play long plays in New York, if that makes sense to you guys. But I am now looking firmly at this 575 for a quick little short opportunity in front of Friday's high, not today's high, Friday's high in ACB.
Oh man, guys, I mean, this is now again at the highs right now, so worth definitely a floss. And I'm sorry if anybody was short this name, but look at this name, just keeps on ripping to the high side, man. 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, our first long down here, 380, man. So, yeah, we're trying to be real with you. This is just a fantastic trade. I get out, 430, 480. We go long again, man, 530. We get out 570. Then we get out some more at 760. Like, my chart can't even keep up as we continue to push high, high, high. This is another banger. $2.30 in the money right there. We'll hit the home runs, man. We're setting them up and just lining them down and just like crushing these things today, man. KXIN, what another great long there through $10. It just keeps on ripping, man. KXIN for the win. It finally takes out the high side there. It is now finally my #1 stock of the day. You saw me destroy Nikola today. You saw the Neo damage be done. And here we go, man. Now it's KXIN time, but it looks like it's fading off right here.
Yeah, and once again, it's fading without a halt to the up.
it.
I don't know what it has to do to actually get a halt, but this is basically the same retrace that it did before, where there was a good short opportunity. I'll tell you this right now, I'm not touching it. And as much as, look, it's going to be a great rollover, having it in front of 9 and actually getting out at the bottom. And I'm not going to let that read go to my head. This is entirely too strong of a stock. There is no halt at this point. Price discovery is going to be a heck of a lot better when there is a halt at some point. Hopefully to the downside, but we'll see what happens. I'm fortunate to have shorted it once and won, but no chance with this price action and the lack of volatility halts am I going to step in front of this train when we're breaking all-time highs. At least before, we were shorting in front of that all-time high, right? So there was a bit of a level at that 10 to work off of. There's just nothing doing here. I want the selling to come in, I want the buying to stop, and then maybe this thing will calm down as a short seller. That's why I'm staying away from it, guys. It could be here. There's a big turn. I'm not betting on it. No way, no how. I'll walk away with my good one win. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
We mentioned some interesting earnings names coming up this week, guys. This one this morning, Halliburton before market open, reporting decent earnings. Actually, report was pretty good. Nice little pop all the way to 1270 overall week on the daily chart, but just popped up on a volume scanner here. 1250 was support, just broke. Downside for Halliburton, so energy stocks starting to pick up on the sell side, guys.
All right, and welcome to Hydration Nation for anybody that's involved with that. We continue to crush the water. We continue to crush the market. That's my out, man. I just hit offer, enter. 1230 is our out. So there it goes. I mean, it's just one of those names where we're long at 10. I got to take another 25, 30% win on that name and get out, man. I mean, we're up so much money right now on KXIN that we decided to take it off there and not really worry about it. I feel like this 1350 might have been a blow off the top candle there. So we'll wait to see. We don't have too many of these here today. So yeah, I mean, I'll turn short seller rate soon, maybe even now on this name. 1340 you could see there as the high. So I probably got to get some shortable shares, but I do like that one right now. If you guys are shorting, come maybe short with me. I think this is a decent spot right now. 1275, 1280 to try to catch that win back to the downside. But that's KXIN right here, right now.
And I did get into ACB here, and I just want to note here, it is in Toronto, so if you do see the price for me in that short trade, it is off of the 575, so I'm just putting in a bit of a top here in ACB, and I'm shorting it in Canadian dollars. It is dual listed, so you can trade on the NYSE as well, but it's a really tight stop risk trade here. If it breaks 75, I'm short at 72. It's not a heck of a lot of risk at this time of day. It's just a bit of an overextension. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew about this one. I don't even know what to tell you if you don't like what's going on here. I'm not sure how that's even possible. That being said, I do feel like I haven't seen us get to 1,000. I haven't seen us get to 1,500. We talk about the likes on the show, and I mean, KXIN has been absolutely fantastic. Whether you want to go long or short, the wins have definitely been there, and that's not the only thing moving. I mean, Zoom was fantastic. Lots of names on our watch list, but Valeri is in the all black. And I feel like maybe that has something to do with the mood, but we can cheer up if we get to 2K likes. Valeria, how are we doing?
Well, please, Nila, so glad you asked. Because we are doing so, we deserve much more likes, not even 1,500, guys. I remind you that I'll do a moonwalk for you when we get 1,500 likes. So smash that.
Smash it. It's a virtual moonwalk. We need to get on teaching Valeria to do a real moonwalk. I say that not being able to do it myself, so that's me throwing her under the bus a little bit there. Look, obviously, there's going to be some crazy action. Like, I'm going back to this KXIN because, you know, there's probably not going to be a hotter stock. Oh, ask and you shall receive. Thank you very much, everybody, for getting us to 1,500 like that, like a snap of the fingers there. Sean just mentioned maybe looking for a rollover. This is exactly the same setup that I had for the short last time. But once again, there's just every single dip, and I'm watching it on level 2. Every single dip to the downside with, you know, just the gap gets filled immediately. There's still some squeeze play because there's still some buying that goes on. The volume tapers off. It only tapers so much. If you go short here, and you're working off a 1275 to 1280 area, so it's the same risk as before. At this point, I really want to see a halt. That's what I'm going to be watching. And I might actually have a losing trade, guys. Let's go. Well, I shouldn't be cheering for it. I want ACB to go downside, but if it takes out that 75 top here in Toronto, I'm just going to jump out of it. No need to step in front of this freight train and then get absolutely smoked, guys. But ACB looking very strong going in. I usually like to short this one on the cannabis front. If it holds, great. If it doesn't want to break down here, I'll just take the 3 or 4 cent hit depending on slippage and walk away from ACB.
All right, let's look at Alibaba right now. Again, like this level here on a break side. Actually, no, it's not that one. It's this one, 309.50, right where we got out. If the market does get its legs back, I do like Alibaba much more than AMD, much more than any of these tech companies. Obviously, Alibaba is one of those, but there's some more rhetoric around them, of course, being Chinese. Ant Financial looks like got the approval, but Alibaba now up 0.21%. I'm still looking at this, man. We crushed Alibaba off the open. We took a 310.50 long. We actually had 50 cents worth of slippage there. So we wanted 310. We get 310.50. We get out 313.25, and then we get out 311.72. So back-to-back jacks there before winning again small on Baba, and now we're going to wait for it. So yeah, not much happening on Alibaba here today so far, guys. Okay, Tesla, we did talk about 455 and why we liked that area. I said any kind of a scalp here on Tesla through off the morning here through 450. It doesn't happen, so we don't get in at all to Tesla. We don't have to worry about that 450 level. It doesn't hit. It was actually great if you use that as a stop for your shorts, because now you're back into the money down to 430 and change. Tesla making life of itself again, back up to VWAP and bouncing. So again, if you're not certain about the NASDAQ and the kind of direction of this, look where we're at right now, 441, looking to make moves back to the downside off of this VWAP. So I do like Tesla coming through very soon here to the downside. And talking about coming through, let's do this one more time, because in 12 minutes, guys, we do have a very important guest coming up. It's Quest Capital. They're coming through. There he is right there, Doug Somerville and Professor Lawrence Steinman coming through to talk all about Quest Cap. They're a brand new listing there on Neo Exchange, QSC over there in Toronto. Check them out. We talked about Sorrento and a lot of these big cap names, while small cap names moving into medium to larger cap based on some of the technologies that they figure out. No better of a, I guess, sector right now than the pharmaceutical side of things. Let's check it out with Brendan right now. See what you have in the interviews in a couple minutes.
Tesla, first off, guys, there was a note just came through there on Tesla. They're cutting, apparently, according to that Electrek website, they're cutting their used car warranty a little bit. So heads up on Tesla. I just wanted to mention this one as well. Vaxart, little analyst note to the downside, possibly was a negative territory on that this morning, but pushing back towards these highs. Decent volume on Vaxart, but down 5% today, guys.
Boo, it has happened. I don't have a key for if I come out of Brendan into a loser, so I'm not going to call Brendan bad luck because he is the absolute man when it comes to keeping us in line. And we have an advantage here, obviously, to get real-time news through Brendan. But we also have a news service built into our platform that I fortunately don't have to use. There it is. ACB takes out the top, so quickly in, quickly out. This particular trade, you know, it's always... I'm usually looking for 2 moves to the upside, like a couple of parabolic moves, or not parabolic, but strong moves up, and then some leveling off at a key level. And so it just went to the higher time frame and quickly spotted Friday's close. I like testing it here. If it holds it, I mean, you're right down to this 550 to 560 area, so you're looking for like 10 to 15 cents when you're risking 5. That's just a trade I'm going to take pretty much every single time, but around lunchtime when volatility has died down and the volume slows. So you got to put them on. If you have a positive expectancy on a trade or a setup, you're just supposed to take it, right? So you take it. I'll take the hit on it. It is what it is. Nikola as well. So this time of day, thankfully, we're using smaller risk here. We don't want to throw everything away. The Nikola short as well. Looking like it might want to test back to the upside here. I wanted to give this one to that 2050, which is what I'm doing. If it goes more than 25 cents out of the money, I will be out of it. The reason why, first target area, you guessed it, looking for a 25-cent win. And then if it breaks down, I'd look to hold for more. So I always hold true to that sort of risk formula for me, especially at this time of day. It's not that you don't have hard stops or good rules for those early breakouts. But later on, the upside's not as big. I mean, Nikola, which gave you a $1.50 move to the upside in the morning, when it breaks, if it breaks 20, I'm not expecting to immediately get a $1.50 at lunchtime. So you have a tighter stop here, expecting that it might not be as crazy of a move on Nikola. It looks like we're not sustaining that move to the upside on ECB. I'm not going long, but that was a break of Friday's high. So might start to find a bit of juice in the cannabis space again, as the weakest of all those names has come through to the upside.
Yeah, I mean, I love the cannabis space, especially like we talked about it weeks ago there at some of those levels. Now I think it's probably a little bit overflated, some of those names, but we'll see. Inflated, overflated?
That's what I thought. I just lost, but anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you had a tight stop, obviously, with the day.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
I mean, we can look. Let me just look here at ACB because Neil was just in it. So just in case some of you are in it again, we did use a tight stop because of the day. Wow. Wow, okay.
Right?
I didn't know it was up 9%. The better one that I like, if I was an investor, which I am, and this is one of the only ones that I think is in the money for me, is Afria, and they're not up that 9%. So yeah, probably Aurora should probably be heading back south side there. That probably was a good short, just maybe not enough legs for that, but again, it's time of day, so we're not trying to do anything crazy. Yeah, and here's CGC, okay, up that 5%. What is going on? Let's check out Cron. Like, why is it not on Afria today? Cron today up is again another 4.5%. Let's check out Tilray. And the reason why I'm going through all these names, I know a lot of you are holders. Yeah, Tilray's going. Okay, so a lot of stocks moving here today. Some of the most beat up names right now making the moves, including Tilray, including ACB. I mean, look at some of these names, guys. Tilray from 42 down to the depths of hell of 250, and now trying to break above. And look, we're right at that 50-period moving average. So we liked it down here better, and that's worked. So I think now you almost got to wait for Tilray to get above the $7 mark before I can sort of put a stamp of approval on that. But wow, I'm going to hit Weed Batman before we throw over to Brendan, because this is one of my favorite things. And yeah, good look on some of these names today. Glad they're moving for us. Brendan.
No news in the group today, but nice moves anyways for some of the cannabis space once again. Just wanted to mention this one, guys, real quick. A little oil and gas name, AXAS. It's not that much. It's a reverse stock split, 1 for 20, in fact. However, look at this volume that's just coming in here for AXAS. Just ripped from 210 up to 265 in a straight line there, guys.
Oopsies. I almost typed in Fastly there and thought I almost entered into a trade in Tilray, a little different stock, and I would have been like, why am I not using more shares on Tilray? Fastly right now. Look, you guys mentioned about breaking VWAP, and this is like, hand in face, punch myself out there. I don't know what to do. Maybe we were caught daydreaming a little bit, but that Fastly trade, I know you guys were all on this. Like this, it doesn't actually get any better than this. So if you guys see this again, help me out, because that would have been such a sick trade, and I know you guys are mentioning it, but look at this, $84. Fastly comes down. I am very positive on this name long term, and this would have been just a fantastic. Obviously, we're here talking about day trading, but look at this, man. You make all this garbage up. It gets its wings down here. This is a fantastic trade as well, breaking the garbage back upside. But then when you get to VWAP, you actually know that there's been a lot of buying down here to get it to VWAP. So the pressure to break it is there, and yeah, it does, man. Straight up $1.50. Now I'm looking at an 87 break, and that's just too far for me. So Fastly, thank you so much again for all of that. I'll put a smile on the chat group. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for mentioning Fastly there. Good trade. I did not want to forget about Cameron, guys. Hit the likes. Like, if you guys, again, Cameron, thank you so much. The amount of love you've given us is unbelievable. But if you can't do that, there we go. Smash the like. That's the one thing. We can get to 2,000. That should be every day. Like, we have 6,000 people watching at once, now down a little bit, but you got to hit the likes, man. Hit the likes, give us that love. Definitely hit the like to subscribe. Big interview coming up very soon with Quest Capital as well. Quest Cap, we're very excited to have them come through. So I'm, ears to the ground on this move with Brendan during that interview. But right now, I'm completely flat. And yeah, guys, we've punched the market right in the face today. My highest spot, super successful day. Hope you've had it with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Sean said, in Quest Cap, we're bringing interviews. And again, it's about learning. We try to stress that all the time. We have a market wisdom page, but the reason you want to pay attention to this guest is, look, just to understand. I mean, we talk about, everyone's living with COVID and it's changing a lot of things in this world. So let's hear from some actual experts who know what they're talking about, who certainly are going to shed some light and some attractive changes or opportunities, definitely at Quest Cap. I talked about Beamy, and I almost fell asleep on this stock, guys. Back when it was testing this 350 at VWAP, I mentioned, hey, if it goes through, I'll take a bit of a breakout. That was an hour ago, and it finally broke, so I did get the long slipped to 52. It is immediately coming back in. I'm giving it to 30 here. We're giving it about 20 cents. You're going to look at this level right from the morning, 20 cents higher. That's my target. Has a consolidation pullback of 20 cents lower from here, so I risk 20 cents, guys. That's where I come up with the structure for it. It's immediately coming right back in. I had a chance to scalp some off for a 10-cent win instantly. I didn't do that. If it goes up there again, I'd take maybe a quarter off at that mark, just in case it plays inside of this VWAP range, and then I can rinse and repeat, get in and out over and over. Hertz just broke back down below. Well, not just now, but it did break down below that 250 mark. I don't know. I said I would start thinking about shorting it at 275. Got distracted by what was a great short in KXIN, but then was sitting there staring at that one on the way up and missed. Was very, very weak here, which is Hertz below VWAP. So I should have had this. I talked a little bit about it when I got out of that third long trade. So 1 win, 2 wins, third one's going to be a loser. If you want to play a level to the long side and go over and over again so it loses, you got to pony up that your last trade is going to be a negative one, but it does hold 75s. It's still above that 230 mark that we identified when we first went over this in the watch list this morning. So down there, I would consider a long. Don't have to be married to the idea, but if I get some sideways action, I can scalp off a 230 area in the afternoon. Hertz was a big mover to the upside on Friday when it found support at that price. Let's see if that same thing doesn't happen again here today.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting really ready here now for Quest Cap to come through. COPRF. On the pink sheets is their ticker. If you want to look at that again, a great opportunity to get in on the ground level for this. And then QSC over here in Toronto, getting ready to rock and roll as well. A decent day so far, and I think the volume will pick up on this name for sure. 1.67 thousands right now. So 167,000 shares. Nicely done. Great opportunity on the uplist to Neil from the CSC. Lots of opportunities come from these uplistings. So again, really excited to have these guys come on. That's QSC, guys. Do some research. We're about to give it to you. So that's what you need to know. Awesome interview coming through shortly. What about Netflix, Sean? Okay, that's a good thing. And it's always a bad thing when I'm talking to myself, but let's go over here to NASDAQ quickly. Oh, wow. Yeah, 532. Who has that? I gave this 532 level. Darn it. Just 2 seconds ago, like literally 2 minutes ago, we talked about NASDAQ 532. And guess what? I don't have it on. We were too busy there watching Alibaba, getting ready for the interview, talking about that. But right now, look, I can cry over spilled milk, but we're not going to do that. That was a great trade here on Netflix. And again, time of day, the market does slow down a bit here. It would have not been a huge trade, but it would have definitely put some more money, guys, into the pocket as the market trying to get back to green. Okay, Neil, here's an opportunity. Let's hope this can go to the moon. So space right now, Virgin Galactic taking out the high of the day right now. Another great name that I like, that I've been talking all about, man, since 17, 18, 19. Shout out to Daniel Shea, because we talked about getting options at this thing when this thing was at 13 or 14. Now we're getting a little elevated. So excited to see what happens when it breaks through 23.50. We're long at 42 right now. And again, look, 10 cents might not seem like a lot, but at this time of day, depending on the shares you have, all you're kind of doing is paying for lunch. lunch right now. You're taking out a little bit of profit, and we're going to pay for a hell of a lot more than lunch. If this thing breaks through, bang, a nice little trade, punch you in the face too. Space as you go out to the upside there. A nice little 10-cent win to go on Virgin Galactic. We're really super happy with this one. Let's take off a third right now for 12-cent win.
Just going to go back to the CCNC. Apologies. I did get a new position alert on this. When it broke the low of the day, we jumped into it here. It took out that 220. I had my stop at 215, so 13th short. I just wanted this one to grind past 2 even. If it goes through there, it was a $1.10 stock yesterday. All the juice is out of it. The volume has come down. Those are all good signs for me here. As I mentioned, of course, I'll be very happy to. I'll do some backflip action anytime you get the plan sort of working here on BIMI. It just broke to 60. As I mentioned to someone in the chat, I'll get some out in front of, take another quarter out in front of 75. Once it breaks 75, I'm looking for a test to this $4 area. This was sort of the lower high that it put in. If it gets there and reverses, I'll probably be all out in front of it with a trail at that 70 mark. But it's got to break 75 first, so I'll scalp the first quarter off, and then the next quarter after it breaks 70, if it in fact does do that. We teed it up. We've been waiting very, very patiently, and we're very excited for this special guest today. So let's go over to Brendan at the desk.
Hey guys, yeah, very excited to have another company profile. This time we're focusing on QuestCap, a recent graduate to the NEO Exchange here in Toronto. We're very excited and pleased to have with us Doug Somerville, CEO. And we're also going to be joined, Doug, I did get the link out to him, Dr. Lawrence Steinman from Stanford out in California, who's going to join us in a few minutes here. But great to have you on the show. Great to learn a little bit about QuestCap. Why don't you tell us a little bit right off the bat here about the company, how it was started, and where the idea came from?
Sure. The company initially started as an investment issuer back late part of last year. We were looking really at 3 segments that we would invest in. We had 3 divisions: MedQuest, ClimateQuest, and TechQuest. We were looking to invest in different types of technologies within those 3 areas. You know, with the pandemic hitting in March of this year, it really shifted a lot of our focus towards how we could help with the pandemic. So we really were looking at 3 areas: prevention, detection, and treatment. So we've made investments in all those areas. A lot of our focus has been on the whole detection and the testing side. We understand that the need for testing is actually insatiable. The amount of testing, especially this fall with flu virus coming up, is going to be really a need for increased testing capability, and that's what we've been focused on pretty adamantly over the last number of weeks.
Into some of the details when it comes to the efforts that QuestCap has made in all 3 of those areas that you mentioned there. But guys, if you're looking for the symbol, it's QSC, as we mentioned here on the NEO Exchange in Toronto, and also COPRF on the OTC market in the US. They're also listed over in Frankfurt as well. If you're watching in Germany, good afternoon if you're joining us from Germany. Let's talk about the graduation, Doug. When we went from the CSE, the Canadian Securities Exchange, to the NEO, just last Thursday, back on the 15th last week. Tell us about that.
Really, we made a strategic decision as a company that we would go from being the investment issuer that we were, and we would move over to the NEO Exchange as a single-purpose company. That single purpose being medical technologies. My background is 30 years in medical and pharmaceutical. I was a former global vice president with Baxter, running their medical device business out of Chicago. I was also, up until 2018, I was the head of Teva in Canada on the pharmaceutical side. So my background has been very much medical and pharmaceutical. And this was a natural sort of move we made as a company strategically to be very focused on the medical, and right now focused on how we can really help with the pandemic.
And 3 different areas, as you mentioned, you're shifting focus to 3 different areas, those being prevention, detection, and treatment. Let's talk about the prevention side of things first, and some of the protocols that QuestCap has initiated and come up with as far as day-to-day life, and a lot of work that has been done in the sporting side of things as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We really started looking at our first protocols, utilizing the knowledge of Professor Lawrence Steinman, who was he was a nephrologist or a childhood doctor in Stanford, as well as he ran immunology at Stanford for about 12 years. He's been at Stanford for actually 41 years, and he's our senior advisor on our scientific advisory board. We also have Dr. Glenn Copeland, and Dr. Glenn Copeland is a sports doctor. He's the doctor of the Toronto Blue Jays, as well as he advises the Atlanta Braves, the Ottawa Red Blacks, etc. Very, very knowledgeable on sports and sports protocols. Initially, we were called upon by the Columbia Football Association to put protocols together to potentially bring Colombian football back without fans in the stadium. So we did that work. We also did a lot of work looking at some of the pro sports teams in North America. Dr. Copeland always indicates that much of the bubble in the NBA and the NHL were very much similar to the protocols that he originally had designed. So we've expanded that protocol work into a lot more areas. I mean, really focusing on bringing people back to work, back to entertainment, back to sport, and doing it safely. So we've worked with companies. We work with the film industry, with Pilgrim Films, which is a division of Lionsgate, and worked on a set with Discovery Channel for Shark Week. So really putting protocols to ensure that people could film safely. We're working with some mining operations. We're working with a number of areas to bring protocols into those industries and try to bring people back to what they want to do and do so safely.
I want to focus a little bit on the bubble aspect of sports that we've come accustomed to this year with COVID, obviously. It was the NBA that kind of nailed it, I think, when it comes to the actual implementation of the bubble and getting it right. But let's talk about how QuestCap was involved in designing that bubble. Now we're seeing even MLB, implementing that for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that we were the ones responsible for the bubble, but I can say that certainly Dr. Copeland's discussions with the pro sports in North America had a lot to do with his ideas being utilized. It was very much, it's different than what we would call a bubble. It was an inner zone that he would talk about, in a mid zone and an outer zone. And it really was important that anyone who enters the inner zone is fully tested and able to be brought in safely. These again were high paid athletes, et cetera, and it was important to make sure that they were able to play safely. We were not involved in the actual implementation of the bubble at the NBA. They did that through their program in Orlando, but Dr. Copeland was involved certainly in some discussions at very high levels.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see some of the the changes that we've had to come accustomed to when it comes to living with the pandemic. Let's shift over to the detection side of things and testing. As you mentioned right off the top, the dire need almost for testing globally when it comes to the pandemic.
Absolutely. I mean, the request for testing is certainly not going away. It's becoming a growing requirement. I think we've all seen on the news the lineups for getting testing. There's three types of testing. There's the RT-PCR test, which is the test you see quite commonly with the nasal swab. There is now rapid antigen tests coming to the marketplace. Certainly Abbott made a lot of news with the test they brought out. We have access to a rapid antigen test ourselves. And there's also the serology test, which is an antibody test that will let you know whether you've been exposed and whether you have what they call the IgG antibody, which is the one that does give you some form of immunity, although no one can say right now exactly how long that will last. We're looking at, certainly we have all those testing capabilities available. But one of the things we did to try to bring convenience and access is we invested in a company, bought 100% of a company called Collection Sites. And they are, with a lab partner in California, able to install mobile testing facilities in parking lots, in gas station parking lots, et cetera, all across the U.S. And the first sites are actually up and running now and in shopping centers in California. So that's rolling out as we speak. It's rolling out over the next number of weeks. And we'll have the ability to begin testing up to 150 tests a day in around the average price of around $60 a test. So it's a very needed requirement to get testing to the masses conveniently and give accessibility to those that need to be tested.
That's a very impressive number, 150 tests a day per site, just to make everyone aware, per mobile site as well. So more to come on the mobile side as far as testing is concerned. Those sites will be repurposed, I understand, when it comes to maybe on the other side of this pandemic, once there is a vaccine and once we get kind of in the process of vaccinating the public. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we would like to, and we're certainly looking into the capability of providing potentially a distribution of the vaccine, the ability to implement the vaccine as well. Can they be repurposed to do that? There's other things that we've talked about to have them repurposed as. The important thing is that, hopefully this is not with us, for forever, but certainly it's going to be with us for the next period of time. And more experts are saying it could be longer, unfortunately, than we want. But really, at the end of this whole thing is that we're looking at different ways of really doing what we're doing, but doing it for the longer term. So a lot of our research now is looking into more longer term capabilities as well in terms of the medical diagnostic field.
Just so you know, Doug, I just received a note from Dr. Steinman, and he's had to take an urgent call. So he has been called away. I apologize.
He's a practicing physician, so unfortunately,
live TV, right? We'll have to move on. But yeah, Dr. Steinman out in Stanford in California on an urgent call. Let's talk about the treatment side of things. When it comes to the actual implementation of a vaccine or the approval, getting the approval process of a vaccine, what have some of the efforts been that QuestCap has been involved in on that side?
Well, we've looked at some different technologies for treatment specifically, not so much on the vaccine side. We do believe the vaccine game is a game for much bigger companies, but the treatment side is an important area. So how can we take certain pharmaceutical products that are available on the market now in different combinations and show that they're effective for the treatment of COVID? So we've made some investments in some smaller sort of startup firms, biotech type firms that are looking at different technologies specifically for treatment. That way we cover, as we mentioned before, the prevention side with some of the work we're doing around protocols and recommendations, et cetera, to stop the spread of the virus, to the detection, which is very much focused on the testing, through to the treatment side, where we have some work being done with some smaller companies to see whether or not the treatments that they have created are clinically efficient.
And something that will be, a process, I think, going forward over the next, 6 months to even the coming years. Speaking of, what is next? Tell us what's next for QuestCap.
For QuestCap, we're very focused on making sure we can bring testing to as many people as possible who are going to require the testing. As I say, I think that testing demand is going to be insatiable because of the fact that we are going to have the combination of not only COVID, which we experienced throughout the summer, but now the flu season coming upon us. So, hopefully people are out getting flu vaccines and certainly trying to take away some of that load. But everybody with the flu is eventually going to need to know, is it a cold? Is it the flu? Is it COVID? So that testing, in the case of the Rockefeller Foundation, they did a report that said the current testing of 5 to 6 million in the U.S. a week needs to go to about 30 this coming fall. And their recommendation was the only way to do that is with rapid antigen tests. And there are rapid antigen tests now coming to the market. They are not quite as accurate as a RT-PCR, but the amount of time and the wait for RT-PCRs, we believe rapid antigen will play a very important role in making sure enough people get tested when they require it.
It's unfortunate that it's something that we're dealing with currently and still to this day. But as you mentioned, no sign of this going anywhere, unfortunately, anytime soon. So a good space to be in, I would say. QuestCap, Doug Somerville, the CEO. Great to have you on the show. I hope you'll be able to come back and give us an update in the future.
Yeah, whenever you invite me, Brendan, I'd love to join.
Good to have you today. Doug Somerville, guys, the CEO from QuestCap. QSC on the NEO exchange here in Toronto, also listed on the OTC market down in the US, COPRF on the OTC. Go check them out, guys.
Thanks a lot there, Brennan. Awesome interview, guys. Like we said, QSC just uplisted. And for those of you who've only followed the U.S. markets, think of something going, getting promoted from, say, like the pink sheets to the NASDAQ, right? So big deal, and I'm glad we're able to have that. Look, it's obviously only a minute or two to go here, guys, and appreciate all the love and support that we've had so far on the show. It's been an absolutely fun one here. I just want to say KXIN, of course, has been the game changer with some ridiculous longs. Is the only way to put it here. From the breakouts that Sean had this morning to even when it broke 10, which was a ridiculous one as well. So a couple of parabolic moves. It's finally starting to give some consolidation. Believe it or not, it still hasn't halted one time. Watch out for 950 if this one goes southbound here. Look, it's like I said, been a fun one. We are getting into some bigger earnings days coming through this week, so let's go over to Brendan so we can get the rundown.
Just going to also check on our friend Pfizer. Just saw a little headline on Pfizer, guys. They were updating their enrollment numbers for their current late-stage trial for their vaccine candidate, but not really doing much. Yeah, there's lots, to say the least, as far as earnings are concerned, coming up either after market tonight or before the open. So I want to go ahead and throw that board up there, guys, and we'll have a look at, wow, yeah, we are in the thick of it.
Yes, sir. Okay, so for me, we saw IBM surprise last report, could be in again. New management over there. I like what they're doing with the cloud. That news was actually a couple weeks ago where they've reinvested more money into the cloud. That looks like a good one. P&G, I mean, consumer products continue to rock and roll. And yeah, those are going to be the two ones for me. Philip Morris, down with smoking, of course, but they're on there as well. So we'll continue to see, man. It's been a super exciting day, and it's going to be better tomorrow. KXIN, Neil's already hammered that one through. That's been a fantastic trade for me. The only trade I have on right now is Space, Virgin Galactic. We've already taken some out high side. We're just going to wait for that tick again. But fantastic day. We're past 12 o'clock. Great guest, a lot of information. Do your due diligence on them. QSC is the symbol there now on NEO, guys.
Absolutely. And look, there's one more thing that we always do before we get out of here. And I don't know what it is this time. We're going to go over to Valeria. Let's see what national day it is.
Thank you, Neil. And hey, traders, thank you very much for joining us this Monday. And thank you for all the support. Guys, we need just more 100 likes to reach our daily goal, 2,000 of likes, and you can help us. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Then go watch our next educational video, the link I'm sending on the chat. And happy National Seafood Bisque Day, everyone.
Yes, yes, we like seafood bisque. That's for sure. I like lobster bisque. Everything bisque related is great. I just double checked though. There it is. We just got to 2,000. So you could definitely hit the little Valeria floss. This is the best, man. The moonwalk. We love that one. It's my favorite, that's for sure. And what I want to get at more importantly though, there's nothing more importantly, but check out this number, guys. It's right here. 98,200 subscribers as we get close to 100. So get ready for that. Kevin O'Leary coming up on Friday. I think we'll be hitting the 100,000 mark before he comes on board, but that's going to be a big guest as well. Guest tomorrow on the show. So come back, stay tuned, man. It's been a big one. We're getting close to 100,000. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it. Something special planned, hopefully before Friday, but been a big day. 12:02. Let's get out of here.
I absolutely love it. And Sean throwing in the lobster bisque. If you're a Seinfeld fan, I know you get a chuckle out of that one of the all-time favorite episodes. Time to go down the line. Thank you for getting us to the 2,000. But before I do that, every chance I get to show my ugly mug, I'm going to have to go ahead and do it. Oh, sorry, no. Got to remind you guys. Kevin O'Leary is coming up on Friday as well. But there we go. It was a great morning open. A lot of names on our watch list going crazy. If you want to take advantage of some of that early action, parabolic moves, crazy volume spikes right at 9:30, check this video out on our Market Wisdom page. A lot of people make their money and then walk away off the open. This is a great way to at least understand why we do some of the things we do right at 9:30 or even in the pre-market at times, guys. So check that one out. Valeria has dropped the link. Speaking of Valeria, down the line for Valeria, for my man Sean Katina. I like to play it again. And my good friend Brendan Wickens, who did a great job with the interview today. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. See you tomorrow, guys.